So, hi everybody. For those of you waiting patiently, spoiler, we will be streaming very soon. We're just having a little bit of a wait here for a moment for our special guest arrives. But you guys can just hold on for another 5 or 10 minutes and we should be there. You may notice there's another chair. Ooh, how exciting, how mysterious. And you may also know we're playing a different game today. We're playing the Call of Cthulhu, The Wasted Land. So there's going to be a lot to get through, lots to talk about from here. But we hope you stick around, probably be another 2 minutes, 5 minutes or so. And we will see you in a bit. Catch you in a bit. And we are back. Just checking the audio down here. Lovely. Cool. I've had to turn the audio off in the game because it doesn't appear to have a volume button. It just has the on or off button. So I was just a bit like, I don't want to drown everybody out from here. So
right, who made this rubbish?
I know, right? This is the most important question we have to ask today. So thank you everybody for joining us. Yes. Sorry about the little technicalities there, but as you'll see, I'm not here by myself. I'm joined by. Well, like you're introducing yourself.
Hello, I'm Thomas Rawlings. I work with Matt here at Auroch Digital, and we are playing Call of Cthulhu, The Wasted Land, which I designed, and a game I'm very proud of. So really excited to be playing with Matt. Kind of like like the DVD equivalent of the director's commentary while Matt plays it, which. Yeah.
Well, you see, this is the exciting thing because, like, the last time, obviously, when you guys were watching me before, the last time I managed to do anything, I was playing on Call of Cthulhu. Sorry, not Call of Cthulhu. I was playing on Acting Cthulhu Tactics, and in that, I was trying to just get everything around here completely brand new. So I was learning all the different techniques, everything else from here. But now I have the man who invented the game next to me. So if I don't do very well, I probably know I'm not going to have any going
if you don't do very well, then things will be bad. No, well, the other thing is if it works really badly, you'll be able to curse out, or you'll be able to ask me questions about it, and I won't remember, and that will be really embarrassing because it was a few years ago I made this, I should say.
So I was going to say to us, tell us the first part. When was this game made? How long ago are we talking?
2012.
2012.
I'll say.
Okay,
yeah.
that's not
so
ancient, but it's firmly in the classic category.
So this was with another studio I had, and there was a couple of other guys, Mike and Stu, and we kind of wanted to make a game together. We sort of set ourselves up to do this, and this was when iPhone as a premium, as in paid iPhone, was the way that things were going. So actually that was our initial target platform. It ended up on Steam later, and there's a bit of a story about that we can tell as we go on. But anyway, I've been wanting to make a Cthulhu game for ages. I'd pitched lots of publishers' games. I'd also been wanting to make turn-based strategy for ages. And again, had pitched publishers, and all to be told, it wasn't a genre that anyone was interested in. Remember, this is before the reboot of XCOM here.
Right, yeah.
So in actual fact, I think it's slightly earlier. When we first hit iPhones, probably, want to say even 2010, actually, maybe 2011.
Right.
But yeah, so before the XCOM reboot, so it was a genre that had not had a lot of love given to it. And also the Cthulhu stuff, that was much more niche than it is now. It's very mainstream now, which is great to see. And then the other thing I did to make it super niche, and it was set in the First World War. And again, we're like, people would be like, well, everybody's heard of the Second World War and the War on Terror, and are there any other wars? And I was like, no, there's this fascinating war, the First World War. There's loads of fascinating wars. Can we set it in that? And generally, and again, since Battlefield 1 came along and showed that actually it's a fascinating period of history and it's a great place to set a game, we were a bit of an outlier doing a game set in that period. But shall we dive in?
Yeah, let's dive in. Let's just get ourselves started, because I think we have to go through a bit of a tutorial mission first, don't we? Or can we just dive straight into normal? I think.
Yeah, let's try it. I can't remember. Right, so here you go, a bit of history. I always get emails off people asking about help, and they'd say, I tried to shoot this Nazi, and it's like, the Nazis aren't in this game. They were another.
It's the wrong era. It's the wrong time.
They were a good decade away. Although, if you're a history buff, Adolf Hitler did fight in the First World War.
He did, didn't he? Actually, yes. Yeah. Didn't he win a medal or something? Wasn't that a thing?
Like that,
yeah, I can't remember. So we had a bit of history on there from there, but
yeah. So this is set 1915, before America's joined the war. That was a very deliberate setting. So it's kind of early on in the war, and basically the British. So this was the idea of a war within a war, which will unfold as we go along. So there's the war we all know about, and there's another war running underneath it, which is a similar theme if you played Auroch and Cthulhu Tactics with the Secret War. So far from the first to come up with this idea. So let's dive in from there.
Cool.
Bit of narrative setting. So Brightmere is our equivalent of the quirky professor who's there to kind of figure out what's going on. He gets this message saying that we need to get involved. So as we're doing stuff, anyone watching who knows MI47, so MI is military intelligence. There was like MI5, which we've heard of, MI6. There was like MI19, which was like escape and evasion. And so I came up with it. Lots of people have done MI13 as being the secret one. So I thought, well, I can't do MI13, so I did MI47. And if anyone can think of what the 47 might be relative to the Cthulhu mythos and can stick it in the messages there, then we'll give them a prize.
Yeah, there we go. And we do have actually have quite a lot of Cthulhu related prizes. So for those of you who've seen before, we were giving away a lot of stuff from the lovely people at Modifius, their Auroch and Cthulhu Tactics, Secret War, the Dark Tales of the Secret War book. We're also giving away a copy of the Tactics box and just loads of other stuff. So I'm going to take a guess. I'll take the first one. It's got nothing to do with the automatic machine gun, the rifle, has it? So
no, you can't win the prize. But no, it's not.
It's not.
So,
interesting. Okay, fine.
Keep going, see if somebody gets that. Yeah, see there's the hidden thing. Right, let's get started.
Cool. Pudding Lane. Okay, the Diary of Captain Hill, British Expeditionary Force. A guest has arrived with a new campaign to Pudding Lane, our company HQ. He hails from America, Professor Brightmere, where he's a boffin of chemistry and the occult. His orders come from the top brass. Okay, fine. So this sits in a similar sort of narrative to how we were sitting before in the start, in the start of Cthulhu and stuff. So okay, cool, right?
Yeah. So Professor Brightmere rocks up and he says to Captain Hill, he's like, you need to help me, and he's not really that keen on getting involved in this. So again, you can see MI47. He's not heard of them. He's never, as you see, he says MI5 and MI6 I've heard of, but not MI47. All sounds a little queer. So like something from Out of the Shadows, you can see the reference there with what we're doing. And basically he says like, you need to help us out and something will be happening. But this is our first mission really to set the setting of the First World War. Basically, that's what this mission was about. And then while this conversation's going on, you get under attack. And so the first mission is a fairly standard war mission, which is defend the trenches.
Okie dokie. All right. What the devil? Here we go. Okay.
Yeah. So again, it's like they're behind the line. They weren't expecting this. How has this happened? So obviously, we're all immediately starting to be drawn into the fact that there's something else going on here that's beyond the normal military maneuvers.
Okie dokie. Right. Der Cult der Cult der Erwach.
Oh, my German, I won't pronounce it. It's the Cult of the Awakened. So basically a bunch of German soldiers who are part of this cult arrive, and they're obviously trying to stop Brightmere and Hill before they get started.
Fine. So we know it's serious now. We know that we know that the Germans are trying to stop us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So
okay.
Right.
Secret cult. More than we bargained for. I'm going to retake the mission men, need to capture pudding lane. I'll push forward to the objective point.
I should say, pudding lane wasn't actually a real...
Oh, is it made up one? Is it?
No, it wasn't made up. You can find a photo from the war where a group of British soldiers have named their trench Pudding Lane.
No way.
I think there's a Pudding Lane in London, which is maybe where they got it
I was
from.
going to say, it sounds like somewhere in London from here.
Yeah.
So from taking from where we were with Auroch and Cthulhu Tactics, obviously we've got the different bars on the top here. Now, obviously there was a few more in Cthulhu Tactics that potentially that aren't going to be in here. So I'm going to guess this yellow bar here is my HP bar, obviously connecting over here to the numbers that on this, and then this the blue one is my AP, so the number of action points I've got for the thing, and then the green I'm assuming shows me that I am in cover at the moment, that I am safe, so fine. Okay, cool.
Right, so our UI design's not that terrible, so it comes across.
Right, so who have we got here? We've got Captain Hill, and he seems to have himself a fancy pistol, because all good captains don't walk around with rifles. Sid Brown and D Hall both have rifles. And what does Brightmere have? He has a pistol as well. Okay, cool. Yeah. Right. So this is one of the enemy?
Yeah.
Yes, so he's looking at that.
He's out of... So you can't shoot that guy because when you select somebody, if you've got the thing above them, that means from where you are now, you can't hit them.
Right.
So if you move Sid just around the corner to, say there. Ooh. So you want to select Sid, and I have to try and remember it. Yeah.
So we can move him there, and then...
So make sure you save. So you can see there it says, I'm about to point in the screen, which you all want to see. So you can see next to the rifle it says 35. So it's 35 action points to fire the rifle.
Yeah.
So if you moved 15 forward, you wouldn't have enough left to shoot. So if you move 5 forward, I think you might end up... Yeah, so you've hit an overwatch of an enemy, you're quite far out the way. So it's back to your turn now, and I think you can probably hit that guy who shot at you.
Ooh.
So that changes your equipment.
Right, I see. Okay.
So if you scroll down and that way, you'll which again.
Why is this not going down this direction?
It's probably because of.
Oh, okay, okay, got it. Yeah.
So you can select him down there.
Right. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So you should be able to click him.
The Overwatch takes up his.
So he was set on
like fine.
Right. So here we're going into shoot, and you can see that the basic shot, which is like your quick shot, gives you a 31% chance to hit. Mm-hmm. You can spend more action points on it. You've only got 1 spare, but if you click that, you'll see he spends another action point and it goes up a bit. So that was one of the systems we had, which is you can kind of increase the... It's like you're setting your shot up a bit better.
Yeah, fine, okay.
Yeah, and so if you click the tick, then he will take that shot. Should do anyway, yeah. So Sid takes the shot and it misses.
Don't worry, this is what happens normally when I play this game.
No, well, it's also one of the difficult things of doing a game like this, and obviously, XCOM and other games like that get a lot of people, sort of ribbing them a bit for the fact that early on, you got people who are standing next to each other and they can't hit.
Yeah.
Well, it's if you start off with really high hit percentages, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
How do you evolve your characters to be better? It just gets boring.
Yeah.
So you're kind of a bit stuck that you have to have the hit percentages lower to start with and improve them as the character gets better. I think we tried to mitigate that with Auroch and Cthulhu Tactics with the skill tree. So actually the characters generate new abilities that they can spend the action points rather than necessarily just upping this percentage. So in that way it was an improvement on what we did here.
I was going to say is because one of the things we've talked about on stream as well quite a few times is when we've gone into that one, it's actually having a look through that character sheet. So where different people are. So the way I've been playing it is Ariane and Harris have gone down, both of those two have gone down their specific routes, whereas the other two I've tried to just sing and the other guys I've just tried to kind of keep quite generic, and kind of like spread their skill points out. With the other ones I've gone for like their main things as quickly as I can, mainly because I wanted to see the demon leech life out of people. But it's
well, no, but they're good skills. In this one, the progression is a bit more role play, should we say. You'll see as we go along.
Okay.
So let's move.
So who's my biggest threat here at the moment? Is it going to be so I'm guessing do the captains have extra abilities like they do in Auroch and Cthulhu Tactics? So some of the other ones will have things which buff the other characters, or are they on a pretty
not as advanced as that. So generally you just want to kill the people you can get to, but you don't want to come out of cover. So if you move Brightmere down and try and keep him within, or move him to the edge. With the other things, you can move him to the edge and then stick him on. I think Overwatch, memory serves me right, we made Overwatch automatic if you end the turn with the right number of action points.
Right. Okay. So he needs 18 to shoot. So if I moved him here.
So you can shoot now. Oh, that's another thing. If you're stood next to a first aid post, you'll automatically generate new. You'll automatically heal yourself as long as you're stood there. So if you stand next to a first aid post and shoot, they're really good defensive positions.
Right. Yeah.
Again, like when we were designing the game, at first we had a lot of stuff with healing, and you can heal people with medikits, but it gets faffy and it gets in the way of the combat. So this was one of the things. So essentially, these medical stations become real strong points, and they're very worth taking and holding.
So holding these down is kind of like a lockdown point to be able to keep that together.
So
in one.
You can shoot away. You've got enough. You can either leave it on or shoot at that.
Well, this guy's only got 6 left, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot. I generally...
I think so.
And you can up that. So you up that with...
Right, there we go. So it's a 51% now.
Yeah.
He's gonna...
Aha!
Nice.
Good shot, right.
Right. Right, what's that? That's possible.
So every time you use a skill, there's a small % chance your skill will improve.
Okay.
So it's like a kind of experience system. Unlikely, like as the game, it happens more likely earlier on, and as the game progresses, it gets less likely. And so, your character is just improved. He's just got a bit better.
I was going to say actually, cool. Okay, right, fine. Right. Cool. Right. Okay. This symbol here.
That's your armor.
Armor, right?
So you, I think everybody's wearing like a leather jerkin or something. In
right.
their equipment.
Okay.
But you can get there was a couple of really interesting First World War armor suits that were being developed where they were trying to figure out bulletproof armor, and in fact the image there looks quite medieval. There was a kind of weird medieval armor suit which we put in the game. So it massively downs your action points because that's the cost you pay for it.
Because you're lugging around really slowly.
Armored, that was a bad design decision in the sense that there's no way of dropping equipment. So if you started on a mission that the time's against you and you've got a certain amount of turns to get somewhere and you're equipped with the full armour...
You're not going to make it.
Yeah, you're a bit screwed. And a couple of people rightly sent emails and said, that was a bad idea. And it's like, yes, you are right.
But it's a learning and development process, isn't it? This is exactly what... This is the important thing. We learn from mistakes.
Exactly. Well, when you're playing the game and you know what's coming up, it's kind of... You subtly, you don't pick that armour when you do that mission. You don't really think about it. But again, we made that choice not because we didn't care. We made that choice because what we were determining early on when we did the earlier missions is like, when do you often want to drop kit? And it was like, you never want to drop kit.
Yeah.
Apart from that one circumstance we didn't think of. The rest of it we thought, well, you'd never abandon the kit.
And I suppose that's something that's come into Cthulhu Tactics in the way that like a lot of people have kind of when we've been playing it and we've kind of gone, oh, hang on, I could have done with the extra AP there. I should have taken that adrenaline shot. Should have taken that thing that just gives me that extra couple to move on to the next one. So it's kind of it's then balancing that out to know which circumstances you need it in and trying things out because no, it's definitely so. Okay, exactly. Right. Yeah. So let's move Brightmere. So he's quite weak. So I really don't want to put him anywhere. These guys I really want to be my cannon fodder, don't I? Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Anyone with a basic name is cannon fodder.
Right.
So feel free to cannon fodder them.
Now, can we? Is it brave enough to move him here? I don't know what the range is because that will probably leave him open to this guy, won't it?
Yeah.
But less so for these ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to move him there. I'm going to plop him down this side. Oh, triggered his Overwatch.
Triggered Overwatch.
2 Overwatches.
But you can soak up the Overwatch by moving a less desirable unit
there you go.
forward. Yeah.
So I triggered all 3 of those guys just moving into that one spot.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. Right. There's nothing else he can really do here at the moment.
Again, I would move him up down to where Captain Hill is down the bottom.
Down here?
Brightmere,
sorry.
Yeah, because he's still got a lot of action points. I'd drop him down next to Hill, next to the station, and then that way he's kind of covered in there as well.
Right. So
I can't remember that it's all the squares surrounding it, or the ones directly adjacent to it, but we'll find out.
Okay, so I could probably up this as well, couldn't I? Because I've still got the points 26 to be able to. Yeah. It's up to 47. So if we can take him out now, that would be quite good. So Abrupt Grub, thanks for the follow.
Right, there we go.
See how we do. Oh, it's a miss. Oh, okay, that's the zoom out from there. Cool. So that's everyone. Now, if I'm assuming that this is it hasn't automatically moved over because I've technically still got action points on this character.
Yeah, it doesn't. If you run out of action points, I can't remember whether we auto moved it, but yeah, you don't have enough action points you can do anything with, so you'll need to end the turn.
And that is that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go.
Right, super. Oh, I like the mask with the.
That's the enemy turn thing.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very, very cool.
Right, so your people also have close combat weapons. So if you select D Hall, I think his name was, and then you click on the rifle. No, so you
bayonet now.
Yeah. So everybody can have. They've got 2 weapon slots, 2 equipment slots. So if you selected his bayonet, you walk him up. You can only attack when you're directly adjacent. So if you go directly adjacent to that bloke there,
okay.
Now your hit percentages will be much improved.
Okay, right.
The damage. So his
what's
his
this
damage
green
you do
mean
is
now?
much,
Is this just a?
I think it means close combat. I can't remember now.
Because the other one was just a grey, wasn't it? So it was right.
So if you bump that up though,
78%. Wow, there we go.
Because basically the curve of the action points in close combat is much steeper, which is good, which accounts for the fact that you'll get. Right, Catherine asked.
I was going to say,
what's something to do with relay? You're going to need to be a bit more specific, Catherine.
I'll have to be the quiz master here and say I'm going to have to do my best Victoria Curran impression and say I'll need more than that. Thank you very much. So, what specifically to do with relay? Okay.
Right. So
Okay. Right. So he can do that.
Right, so he can't do any more attacks now, so that's
because it's 15 as a base. Yeah. Right, yeah, okay, fine, cool. Okay, I'll tell you what, we're going to try and use Captain Hill to try and take this guy out while he's actually, because he's closer, I would probably fire with Brightmere, because he's probably got longer to go, and he can get into cover that way, so I'm going to try this, and then, actually, he's probably not going to move too far, because he's so weak. Oh, but can only...
No, it's not bad, though.
Bump him by 1, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Cool. See how we do. Yeah, all right.
Okay,
now
I think he's also got a bayonet. If you click on his pistol, is he? Yeah, he's also got a bayonet.
Someone had a pigeon.
Yes. Oh well, right. So there's a story here.
Right.
So and this is one of the things I like the most in the game. So if you select it's him there. Yeah. So he is Sid Brown. So there's a lot of stories. So Sid Brown is actually my great grandfather.
Oh really?
Who actually fought in the First World War and was an engineer in the First World War. And I wanted him in as a character in the game because I knew him, I was very fond of him, and I kind of felt it was a bit homage to him in the game. He didn't have red hair.
Right.
We did him with his proper coloured hair, which was brown. But the problem is he was very difficult to distinguish from everybody else.
Right.
And the artist, Stu, said, look, if you give him red hair, it's much easier. He stands out more. So I kind of conceded on that point. But because he was an engineer, he has this ability. He has the ability to call in fire support. But remember, this is World War One. So there were radios, though they weren't very good. But there certainly weren't radios when you're on the move.
Yeah.
And they did actually use pigeons. So if you want to try it, so if you select the pigeon. So if you select above the that tells you where you're able to do it.
Right.
So you select that. No, you're selecting to move.
Oh.
You want to select on the guy.
Oh, hang on. Let me click on here and then let me move him again. All right.
Yeah. Oh, that's not working.
There we go.
Yeah. So that should... Is that selecting? Oh, it's just selecting the thing. I
Oh,
can't remember how you do the fire now. Oh, I think because you can't see anything, that's why.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you've got to move him forward. So move him forward a little bit, though. You need 40 AP, so...
Well, just moved him backwards.
I'd select his rifle again. You'll have to
shoot someone.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll do the pigeon in a bit.
Yeah.
It is very cool. But I would move him up into cover next to D Hall and change him to the bayonet.
And then just do some stabbing.
He might not have enough AP, but you definitely don't want to leave him out of cover.
Yeah, we'll put him there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good spot. Catherine, location, and 3 globes.
Oh, is that its latitude east-west from where relay is?
If you can give us the full latitude, then maybe.
It's not actually, but if it turns out relay's imaginary latitude is got 47 in, then you probably
imaginary. It's interesting you say.
Well, all right, real latitude. It's not. I thought you were going somewhere else with it, which was closer to the truth, but it isn't.
That's a clue.
Yeah, it's relay is.
We give away too much if you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have another guess, Catherine. Have another guess.
Relay is not. Relay is tangentially part of where the answer is, but it's quite far removed. Oh, I can't say much more without giving it away. So sorry.
Right. So I'm going to try and shoot from here because he can still see him. So that's a 43 from there. That's a hit. I'm happy with that. And again, he's going up in his handguns, which is good. And I think, because he's been so good, I'm just going to give it another go, use up the rest of his AP on that. It's only 36%, I know, but yeah, I'm not expecting too much. And now, I think I want to... Can I move you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still going to stay in cover, isn't he, if he stays there?
He should be, yeah.
Yeah. So these two are going to gang up here, and...
Well, I didn't realise that was in there, apparently. That is a really good guess. It wasn't what I had in mind when I created it, but I'm tempted to say yes, just because I didn't know that. And that's actually clever.
Well, there we go. We've learned something new from this.
That's cleverer than what I had, than where I got the name from. So,
right, that's everybody's AP. I can't use that. It's 13, 5, 2, 0. Okay, cool. So it's going to be their turn now. Yes. That's a hit. Miss. I'm happy with that.
Oh, don't kill my great grandfather.
I was going to say,
I'll be really pissed off if you kill him.
My job today is not to get him, to get him killed here.
So if you move him up close, not him, sorry. If you move up to adjacent to the aid station, he's in so move him up one square. Right, you can rotate. Remember, he should be able to. Anyway, he's fine there.
There we go.
And then now you can just shoot at that.
He's actually got enough to just shoot at...
Yeah, I would just stay there and shoot because he's taking a bit of damage.
Okay. Yeah, Googling won't help. Because to say, if maybe you can come up with another reason why it was 47. Maybe if you can think of a good... I tell you what, we'll give you one. If you can give me a good enough reason why you think it's 47, it doesn't necessarily have to be the truth, but if it impresses us, then you can get a copy of the book.
Okay, well, I'll give a clue, which is it's 47 is a date.
Okay.
There you go.
Right, so. That's good enough. Hero Henry. Yes. Thank you. This is a good game. I'm having a lot of fun at it at the moment. This is right. Okay, I'm gonna try and.
Yeah, let's finish him.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Why aren't you? Oh, because I haven't selected you. That's why. Cool. Now, question is it worth me just?
With the close combat, it's always worth upping. You'll see, you get dramatically
because you just 78 for each one of them.
Yeah.
And that's enough for him to do another one as well. So
enough.
Martial arts as well.
Yeah,
extra +1. Excellent.
Again, more usual stuff. So often in this game, it's worth taking shots at people, even if your chances of success are small.
Right.
Because
Okay, we don't have any points for you to move, but you can move to.
Yeah, that's a good idea to the 21, and then you might have enough AP left for a shot. Yeah, you can probably shoot. Yeah, he's out of cover. Or kill him,
Yeah, here's the question.
He's in cover, but he's lower.
What's the percentages here? That's 35, and this would be 52, and I get a boost with it, so that'd be 72.
Yeah, that's a better shot.
I think so. There we go. Now that's it. Well, but now they're both down to a lower point.
Watching that bullet took ages to get. It's like a really slow bullet.
Okay, right now Hill. That's 24.
You can't see him.
Can't see him, so he's going to move out of cover.
Head,
Well, I think it might be maybe.
It's always worth
44.
Doing.
No, he needs to come closer, doesn't he? We need to.
He's got enough for left. One more. You might as well. I would just leave him there and shoot.
Just give him another go with it. Yeah. Miss.
Okay.
Dang. Okay. Oh, so the number on the bottom as well as the turn one from here. So yeah. Okay, that's fine. Thanks for the follow, Hero Henry. Appreciate that.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's okay. They've changed targets now, so that's positive.
Right in the face. Yeah. Thanks very much for that. Oh shit. Right. Okay. Right, don't panic. So we need to heal Brightmere.
Okay.
So if you select Sid Brown, I can't remember whether he will be able to. So select his. You select that. Click on that. Yeah.
That secondary one.
Oh, that's the gas mask. No, click on it again.
Oh.
I think you have to be right next to him, so you'll need to move 1 square down. And now the option should appear for you to heal him. Yeah.
Right, there we go.
Yeah.
Right, okay, here we go. Right, so useful. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right.
Doesn't give us enough of a shot, but...
So you can see you've used up that aid kit now. Again, interesting thing, we got a little bit of support from an organisation called the Wellcome Trust when we were making this, and they let us go to a museum where...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like an Army Corps medical museum. And we discovered that first aid kit, originally it just had a little box with the kind of first aid cross on it, which was a bit boring and just what we did. So if you select another guy, if you select D Hall, you can see that thing there.
Yeah.
It looks like a little bandage.
Yeah.
Actual fact, in the First World War, the soldiers they literally carried their own bandage.
Oh wow.
So you had that in your upper pocket, and the bandage, when you unfold it, it's like a long strip of bandage with 2 padded bits to it.
Right.
And what happens if you're shot? The bullet generally would go in one end, out the other.
Yeah.
And what happens is you put the padding on one side, one the other,
as
and then wrap the rest of the thing round it.
Oh wow,
and
cool.
you'd use the bandage that the person who was hit on them.
Yeah.
So it's not a bullet with your name on, it's a bandage with your name on.
That's pretty cool.
And again, the field stations you can see there. So there's a weird thing looking like a crotch. That was actually, again, an actual piece of equipment that they developed. So when soldiers were shot in the leg, they would strap their leg up in that, and it protected it from being, as they were moved on stretchers and things like that, it protected the leg from worse damage.
Oh, cool.
Because in the fields of Flanders, they had ploughed manure for generations.
Right.
So the soil was really dangerous, full of bugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So at the
there's
start
a lot of
the war,
wounds around there.
Exactly. At the start of the war, the death rate from wounds was really high.
Wow.
And then by the end of the war, it was really low. And in actual fact, one of these odd consequences of war is the First World War accelerated the understanding of what we call trauma surgery now. So if you're unlucky enough to have an accident and you're rushed into hospital, a lot of the principles, things like the triage, which is deal with the most serious cases first, those sort of principles emerged in the First World War. With the volume of casualties coming in, interestingly. So
there we go. Interesting. On we go. Casey Beer and Wesley Bowes, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, right. So we've still got some points here with Hall. So no, you're going to stay there because I'm actually going to change you up and you're going to do some shooting.
Shoot him in the face.
That's right. 72%. Here we go.
Serves
nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember,
exactly
don't feel any pity for these. These are trying to wipe out the human race, and
actually, rather than move, because he's on such low points, it'd be better for me to shoot, I think, here. To try and...
finish him.
Finish him off. That's a miss. He's not doing well from here. I'm going to give it one more go, and then we're going to move him in next time. I think that's the...
Catherine, it is 1947, but it's not... I'm not sure what you mean by the first summoning. The date is 1947, so you're right. MI47 comes from 1947, but it wasn't first summoning. Although I'm not sure what.
For those just joining us, MI47 is the name of something.
It's the military intelligence unit who send Professor Brightmere on this mission during the First World War. No. And I didn't know about DUS 1947 back then. And we've challenged the listeners to, if you can figure out what the 47 in MI47 is, you can win a copy of the Auroch and Cthulhu collection of stories,
Dark Tales and the Secret War,
which I've read, and they're very, very good.
They are very good, actually.
I would heartily recommend it. And so if you can figure out what 1947, where I got that from, then you will win that book, and Catherine is definitely on something here.
And fun fact, John Houlihan obviously was one of the, I think he edited most of it and wrote a couple of them. He actually popped on stream a little while ago because he did some ways like, and he was having a chat with us about
the
stuff.
Writer on Auroch and Cthulhu.
He was just like, I did some writing on this, and I was like, really? This is amazing.
Right.
Okay, so that's basically everyone. He can't move yet. Well, I could essentially move him, but I'm putting him too close to this guy. Really, I'm not going to be able to do too much damage here, am I?
No.
I think it's probably worth waiting. So
you can stab him in the face next.
Yeah, that is the plan, I think. So the number of turns is going to be quite important.
Depends on the mission. Yeah, so some of the missions you've got a certain amount of turns to complete it. Some of the missions, certain things happen after a certain number of turns. They varied through it. I mean, from a game design point of view, it's a great way of mixing up a turn-based game. So in this game, you've got a certain amount of turns to complete the whole thing, and so you can't just be cautious and just move, shoot,
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
in cover. You know, you've got to be a bit more proactive. Whereas other missions, you don't. Right, critical hit, shot. Right. So again, with every shot, there's a chance you get a critical hit. As your characters get better, the chances of that hitting go further up. So those red marked squares there, that's an objective point. So if you move him up into there, that completes the objective.
Cool.
I believe you got to move everybody up.
Right. Okay. So interesting.
Which is we've got in Auroch Cthulhu.
I was going to say some so you just move one in and then it's just like
a better version of that. Well, I think I said in the thing, like a lot of the stuff we did in Auroch Cthulhu Tactics, things I wanted to do in this, and you know, whenever you're making a game yourself,
because I've got to now wait for him to go and move and say
exactly, So this was not as good. Whenever you're making a game yourself, you've always got limitations. We're not some massive studio. Hurrah! Well done.
There we go. Putting
lanes back under control. So
bridge control.
You've always got to accept your limitations with what you do, and this was one of them. Right. So yeah, my great granddad says.
I don't think it's over yet, sir.
Well,
Jerry's are coming this. Where was he from?
He was actually from the West Country. So
oh, really?
From Devon. So I don't think it's over yet, sir. More Jerrys are coming this way. They're popping out of craters all over the blooming place. Now I can say that because it's my great granddad, and my dad is from Devon, and I'm partly from Devon.
There you go. You don't want to hear my West Country accent. So I've heard quite a lot of it here in Bristol.
I have a bit of a West Country accent. So. Yeah.
And I definitely can't do American. So, is he American? Is he?
No. So he is. I envisage him as a Sikh, American,
right?
Because again, if you go back to that period, there was in the fiction there was the Eastern religions were fascinating to the Victorians and the kind of around that period, and it was a lot of unknowns. And I also thought it's just a much more interesting character that he has this different perspective from the professors that are around him.
Right.
So I envisage him a bit of a hybrid, a bit of a kind of citizen of the world, if you like.
Okay. And so and because I know that Aki saying in Cthulhu Tactics was obviously taken directly from the Auroch and Cthulhu lore, yes. But were these characters your own devising, or were they from the lore?
These are my own devising, these characters. So in actual fact, a couple of them make appearances in the narrative stuff of Auroch and Cthulhu Tactics, which was a nice little. So Sid Brown pops up.
I was going to say yes. I've seen him talk about a few other things.
So he pops up, and so by the time the Second World War comes, he's an older.
Yeah.
He's not
providing advice more than he is actually doing the other stuff.
He's not fighting on the front line anymore because he's a bit older.
Spoiler: someone's going to survive. So.
Right. So here's a classic defend and hold. So we've got 15 turns. So now the turn count matters.
Right. Okay.
And yeah. So if you scroll across that, right, what you'll see there is a couple of things we've got in there. So the bunch of them have turned up now. Mm-hmm. If you go north from there, there's gas.
Right.
If you go into the gas and you don't have your gas mask on, you'll take damage every turn.
Which is one of those options you've got on the thing. So
but you can also use that to your advantage because the cult are a bit brainwashed, they're a bit dumb. Mm-hmm. They just come in to attack. What you can do is position your troops directly behind gas. So if you
they'll be coming
walk
to you
through the gas and they'll take damage on their way to you. So I wanted the gas to be a bit of an environmental hazard that's double-edged. Yep. Sometimes it can affect you and other times it can affect other people.
Okay.
So that's how I envisaged it. So again, some of them are in the craters you can see and they'll be shooting you from there. Mm-hmm. And some of them as well will come at you with close combat weapons, which they haven't appeared yet, but they will.
One at the back here. So we've got 1, 2, 3,
There'll be
4,
more. There's
5,
waves
6.
of them coming. Because remember, you just got to survive 15 turns.
Okay. So the two choices I was going to say, Bad Bell, thank you. I was going to say the two choices that you potentially have is either lining up somewhere and letting people move into one point, or going another angle. I'm not sure which one to.
Well, what I would do, having played this mission a lot, is I would move. D hill up. So D, is it hill? No, Hall. Sorry, I would move Hall up into that crater there.
This one, the one in the front of us.
Yeah. So move him into the crater. So he will draw the others through there. Mm-hmm. Then what you want to do is space the rest of them a bit more equidistant out along the front. Okay. So move him down a little, but still keep him in front of the barbed wire because they can't then go directly through. And then move also Sid Brown down into that middle bit there.
Sid would be probably someone quite handy to use with his this ability. I'm guessing because
and you want to do it because it's an area effect. You want to do a grouped attack. So next turn we've run out of action points now, but next turn let's
See if we can do that, and then see if we can drop them together.
Pigeonhole them.
He can fire though. He's the only one that can fire at the moment.
Take a
So he's open and he's open. Now, does distance matter? Or
as
okay.
the range goes, the shot gets progressively harder.
Okay, so I think I've accidentally clicked on a part of the thing. No, I just want to click on you. Okay, so you're gonna probably be the closest one. 16. Best I've got, but again, like you said, just take that shot.
Yeah, or in this game, it's always worth taking the shots because you might get some skill bonus even if you don't.
Okay, who can we shoot at here? You can't see you. You can see these guys again. Ooh, 10%. That's not good. 14. Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Give it a go. That's a miss. It's got 18 again. So we'll give it another shot.
Excellent.
Fred Mink, thanks for the follow. Right. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, so it's already counted the first. So is it another 15 on top of this 5, or is it the...
I think so. We'll find out.
So
I think it's when it hits 20.
Could be here for a while, people. Right, here comes the rest of them. Awesome.
So you can see they'll move up into their optimal firing range, and then they'll start to take pot shots at us.
But fortunately, optimal firing range is next to each other for us.
Yes, so they've grouped themselves. Yeah, that was one of the conceits why I wanted them as a cult, because then the AI is not particularly smart. They rely on so let's area affect them. So select the middle, the
Someone
30 one, the prominent one with 30 above him. Yeah,
right.
So up it to the maximum you can get. Yeah, excellent. Right now, so you'll notice he sends off a pigeon.
Cute. Oh, cool.
Then the area effect comes in.
Wow.
And then what you'll notice is a few turns later, the pigeon will return to you.
Oh, right, okay.
And then it resets it.
Amazing.
So it doesn't happen straight away. But yeah, that's basically, the conceit is he's very quickly scribbled out a little note saying, here's the coordinates, drop fire. He's attached it to the pigeon's leg. The pigeon's flown off.
This place, yeah.
Yeah. And then they've got the pigeon's message. Oh, right, okay. And then they've laid down the fire. I was very pleased with it.
And that's a crit. That's 2 down. Quite happy with that. Okay. Now let's see if we can't get you out here. Yeah. So that percentage boost is really handy.
Yeah. So it's like there's a difference between a snapshot and an aimed shot. I think we called them.
I'm missing everywhere here. He's still in quite a good position, but I suppose we're not too panicky that there isn't.
No, as they get closer, you'll obviously get better shots at them. So
that is everybody's turn. So we'll see what we can do.
So they move. See, they're moving into. They're only part protected, so they're moving into the gas, and they're taking damage, which is great.
Gosh, there's loads of them. 15 turns. We'll be all right. We'll be fine. We'll be able to get through this, no problemos. Okay, so I'm going to guess that if he's only part covered as well, this is going to be a better chance for us to hit this guy.
Yeah. Well, no, he's partly protected. He's in the gas. Yeah, so he's already taken damage from the gas. So great, shoot him while he's in the gas.
Kick them while they're down, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
Which again, like point of history, my great granddad, he was in the engineers. He did actually work for a bit in the bit where they delivered the chemical weapons.
Oh wow!
Chemical weapons were largely invented in the First World War.
Yeah.
There's a great book called A Higher Form of Killing, which is the history of poison and chemical weapons, which is quite a scary but very interesting book. Yeah, and the Germans developed it originally, if memory serves me right. And imagine being a British soldier there and just seeing this weird green mist rolling towards you. They had no idea what it was. Yeah. It hits the trenches. Obviously, it starts killing people. They're coughing to death. It caused absolute pandemonium. But what the Germans didn't do is they didn't follow that up with a huge attack. They just tested it out.
Just to see what would happen with
it. And they saw it's very effective. They tested it out. They didn't follow up with an attack. So the surprise was lost. So the British then had to do scrambling around, figuring out what it was. They figured out they didn't figure out counters, but at least they knew what they were facing with for a while. They didn't figure out the counters, And then eventually the British developed their own version of it, and so then the kind of chemical shells and the chemical weapons, it just became another one of the nightmare things of that landscape.
And I suppose that also gave that quite iconic look of, like, the gas masks and everything else being then distributed and how people had them. And also I suppose that goes with the worry that people had in the Second World War of this, every child's got to have a gas mask, everything, because it's got to be so bad, because they were so terrified of what had happened.
I believe, I mean, I've read some history stuff, which, and again, some of the history stuff I've read suggests that Hitler was the subject of a gas attack and he really didn't like it. Right. And so, despite the fact that the Germans during the Second World War had developed nerve gas, so much more deadly gases than the mustard and the phosgene gas of the First World War, but he was reluctant to use them because he, given what he was responsible for, sounds really weird, but he didn't want to do it. They, on D-Day, for example, the Germans had vast stocks of sarin nerve gas shells and they didn't use them.
Just left them.
And the Allies had no idea about sarin, so it would have been devastating had the Nazis have used it, but they didn't. One of those, again, quirks of history.
Quirks of history and wars. So there we go. So we're getting a history lesson here as much as we are getting a games lesson. It's a double whammy of everything today.
Well, you can see this is stuff. The stuff we make like this is stuff I am very into. So hopefully it comes across that we don't just do the stuff for the sake of it. We make games that we care about. We care about the subjects. We care about the source material meaning something in the game. That matters a lot to me with what we do.
And I think you can see that because I think that anecdotal evidence you hear from a lot of people and people talking around, they go, oh, it's like the Wasted Land, well, this is like really like this, that and the other. And so obviously this game still has a place for people and there's still a care about it, which is quite interesting.
I was really, really touched at when we launched the Kickstarter for Auroch and Cthulhu. I thought most of the people who'd come to it would come through from Auroch and Cthulhu, and lots of them did, to be fair. Modiphius have deservedly built up a real following for their game, because it is great. But there was a healthy chunk of people who came through the Wasted Land, and I was really touched that people still remembered it, they still liked it, and they were still willing to come along with us for the journey of Auroch and Cthulhu Tactics. And by doing this, hopefully you'll see lots of what we're doing here is the ideas of what's in Auroch and Cthulhu Tactics kind of come out of what we were doing here.
I just noticed there was a minus there.
Yeah, you can get minus shots. Right, and again, you think, well, why would you ever take it? Well, remember, you can still earn skill, potentially, from a minus shot. And there are other effects that impact on it as well, which we'll come to later with the psychology system. But we haven't started to encounter anything too strange yet. Yeah. Again, similar to Auroch and Cthulhu, Tactics, you don't want to drop the strange things in the first couple of missions. You want to build up to that. So similar in this, you won't encounter anything weird for a bit.
I didn't know who this guy was for a second.
Oh, right.
So okay. I would have been shooting at him a lot earlier, actually, if I'd seen him. But yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense.
Well, like with Lovecraft and lots of his contemporary stories, that they don't reveal the monsters right at the start. They kind of they gradually weave into that stuff. The revelations of it come later. And with this, we very much followed the same idea. And in fact, I've read all of Lovecraft's work, but prior to doing this, I reread Lovecraft's First World War set stories. Right. So there's a few of them. Dagon is set.
I didn't realize set First World War.
Yeah, so I think the reason the person's cast adrift is they were on board a ship that's been torpedoed during the war.
Right. Okay.
And so there's Dagon. There is obviously Reanimator, which, if you play this game full, spoilers, that it has an important part to play. Reanimator's narrative in this. There was a few other stories that Lovecraft wrote, but remember, for him, the First World War was a major event. Because it's over 100 years ago now. We tend to think of it more as a historical thing, but it was a very real, and it was the thing that, like the War on Terror is now, it was the thing that dominated a lot of news cycles.
Here we go.
There you go. So his pigeons returned.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I think this is perfect timing as well, because it has turned up just at the point that three of them are standing very close to each other. So I think that's probably worth a go.
We didn't give the pigeon a name, and we should have.
Yeah, that definitely should have given the name. Give him one now if you like. It was a
Bert.
Yeah,
go on, Bert.
I like that. Right.
So, he's going to scribble on Bert's leg.
The 22. I think he's probably the Bert one to get these two.
Yeah. Should area affect it?
Let's see how we do. Off you go. Quite like the animation as well.
Little feathers go off.
So he missed. He hit that one, but he did miss there.
Never mind.
That's okay. I'm happy with that. It seems to have been effective so far. Artillery seems to work well, which isn't surprising anybody. I use artillery to hurt people. That seems to work.
when I was younger, obviously, I'd known my great-granddad had been in the war, and when you're younger, you're not really thinking about the human cost of it. You're more thinking, like, there's guns. So, of course, as a young kid, did you kill anyone? It's that kind of... I must have been about 10, 11 asking him that, and he was very Devon accent. He said, well, I fired my rifle a few times, but I don't know if I hit anyone. Which was very my great-granddad. He's actually a very gentle guy, even though he'd fought in this horrific war. My great-grandfather was an artilleryman in the Somme. That was the thing. So So we saw his medals from when because I never knew him as Doug before I was born. But he was he did that, and there was a funny story that my mother used to think that she was Scottish for ages, right? Because her did one of these DNA sample things, and it said, "Oh, she's from London." She goes, "No. My great granddad was Scottish. He was in the Royal Highland Regiment." And then it turns out that he was born in London. He just got shipped up there to do his artillery training. Right. So for years, he was on. I've got a little newspaper clipping with him in it. So little like covered over thing. So so again, he probably would have had the same thing to say. Like, I probably did. But I didn't know what I did or how many I did, which is scary, really, isn't it, to think about? No, I mean, he was 21 when he went to war. My granddad was, and the only reason he ended up in the engineers, as I said,
was that Overwatch then? Sorry,
it was. The only reason he ended up in the engineers is because back in the day, and again, history lesson while you shoot them in the face, hopefully, is there was a thing called coal gas. So it's before natural gas. They used to heat coal and extract gas from it, and that would be used for lighting lamps and cookers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And in the village he was from, he used to work in the coal gas plant. And so they were like, well, you know about coal gas. What about murdering gas? And so he got stuck in the engineers because of this brief knowledge
of gas.
But it was all a new science, new engineering project then. So there was a lot they didn't understand about it. Right, have we got them all?
It looks like there's...
Right,
some funny dressed Germans have joined the fight.
Have joined. That soldier is the uniform of the Cult of Awakened as MI47. Have you got that yet, Catherine?
Still waiting for the answer.
They are indeed active here. This also means their leader will be here too. Right.
Oh, right, okay.
Right, so now suddenly you get these guys here with a different uniform. So you can look at their face, they're slightly zombified. This was this idea that they're taking weird potions and things like that. They're a bit suicidal, and they just don't care, and so they charge against you.
Wow.
Well, this means gameplay terms, they're different from the ones you fought before. So the ones we fought before, they stand and shoot at you. You've got used to that. Now we have some people who are just going to come in, and they're very deadly and close.
Right.
So suddenly now we need to make sure they don't get in close. So that it switches up your tactics a bit.
Yeah. Is he safe there? I mean, essentially, we're going to try and... Because he's already gone through. I think my plan here is to try and take this guy out because he's walked through and then move him backwards.
That's a good plan.
Is the logic...
Yeah,
there we go. That's
correct.
That's okay.
If you've got enough AP... No. You just need to kill them because they're going to get in and...
So he's going to come down here, isn't he? So because they move a lot more. Their AP is obviously a lot higher.
Okay. Catherine's asked for another clue. Okay, yes, it's a date related to a story. One of Lovecraft's stories.
Again, if you're just joining us, if you can work out what MI47 stands for,
what the reference is.
What the reference is.
Yeah, then you can win this book.
You need Dinosaur 1. Thanks for the follow.
Right. Okay. Shoot. Right. So shoot these.
Try and get rid of as many of these as quickly. Any of them moves quickly. It's like when I experienced the Shoggoths the first time. I was just like, I just need to blow those up as quickly as possible.
It switches up the kind of fear factor, and hopefully you feel a little more threatened than you did before. So before you're facing like slightly warped but ordinary soldiers. Now suddenly you're facing these more fanatic cult members. So you've got to switch up your tactics as a result.
Nice. Cool. Right. So we've got one left over there, and I'm sure there was another one there. Okay, so this...
Well, they'll keep spawning in, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. But you see because we positioned Hall up there, he's kind of drawing their AI up there. So they're deploying storm soldiers. Yeah, so we obviously know stormtroopers as the, Star Wars. I've got Star Wars t-shirts on, so obviously but actually the first usage, from what I understand, of stormtroopers or soldiers, I think both terms were used, was this idea of these heavily armed troops that were designed to break the stalemate of trench warfare.
Right.
And so the Germans deployed these small mobile units, whereas before that they'd been much more cumbersome formations.
Yeah.
Because remember, a lot of the stuff in the First World War, they had thought they'd be fighting cavalry wars. They go into we think of it trenches and tanks and chemical weapons. We think of this mechanized war, and it was. But right at the start, they've got cavalry. They've got all these. They think they're going to be fighting a Napoleonic war. And of course, there's machine guns and barbed wire and artillery, and it's never going to be that. But
and aren't tanks still classed technically as cavalry? Like the way that they give
like
them.
I think they come out of that. I think that some of the British units are still called the household cavalry. And actually, in war, they don't ride horses; they ride tanks. See, they come in. They're quite dangerous. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of them as well.
Yeah, now there's some with rifles. So these are now the stormtroopers. You'll notice in their picture, they've got a gas mask on, so they can move through the gas unimpeded. Or they take much less damage. I can't remember, one of the two. But yeah, you need to...
We're gonna duke it out with him. We're going mano y mano with...
Yeah, we definitely had much better animations by the time we come to Act on Cthulhu. But this is when 3 people made a game, remember?
I was going to say, I had a look at the credits and I was really surprised how short they were.
There's 3 of us made a game. We got a little bit of help. We got somebody else. These guys did the audio for us, and a couple of people helped out with testing and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just 3 of us made this.
Wow.
It took us about a year, if you're interested.
A year?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. This is good.
There we go. Come on, shoot them in the face.
Right. Right. Part of me think actually I'm going to use, because this is less damage, isn't it? There's less points of damage with the pistol anyway.
He's only got a little bit left, so I would
try and take him out with this rather than only because I want to save that.
What, the rifle?
Auroch? Yeah, I want to save the rifle for the other guy who hasn't taken any damage, because if he hits, he'll do more. Yeah. But he doesn't, so that's useful. Alright, let's hear.
Oh,
okay, so right. Oh, that's annoying. So we've got 1, and then there's no one coming down from the bottom. That's okay.
Let him walk his way through the gas. So that's the other good thing, is leaving him
He
in
is
the
going
gas,
to take that,
So use their fanaticism against them. Stu's so the portraits there. So Stu, the artist I worked with on this, he did these fab little portraits. Who again did a bunch of the art in Act on Cthulhu Tactics. Right. It's really nice to see his art again, because he's very, very talented.
Yeah.
Right, we can artillery them again.
Okay.
Right, we're on turn 14. I think it's 20 we've got to get to, or 21.
Right. Well, there's 2 stormtroopers stand next to each other. Storm soldiers even stand next to each other.
I think they were called stormtroopers, and then I thought, will I get into copyright problems
if you named it?
Yeah, I have a vague memory of that, or whether I looked at it and no, they didn't have a consistent naming. I'm pretty cool that it was Stormtroopers with the space.
Right.
But anyway, and I think the Star Wars one is Stormtroopers without the space. But
okay.
Don't hold me to that. If anyone makes a game with Storm Space Troopers and then gets sued, don't
if
blame me.
anyone knows.
Yeah, or if you know.
And is a lawyer, let us know.
Yeah, any lawyers on the street.
We would be most appreciative. Okay, right. He's got 2% from there. It's not a good odds when they're that far. Actually, he's got a little bit further to travel than this guy, and he's got a gun.
Yeah, so some of the cult don't all use knives. They have slightly better stats overall, and then some of them have knives, some of them have rifles, and there'll be other forms of them coming in before.
Okay, let's see if we can't. We'll do this. So I noticed there was the extra missions. Was that done in the core bit? Because I had a bit of a read of it, but it's set before all of this.
Yeah. So one of the characters from this, you actually play the baddie in the extra missions. We did a kind of DLC pack where you played the baddie, and like the players liked it, but some of the feedback was you don't want to be the baddies. I was surprised at how many people did not want to be the baddies.
Yeah.
They actually want to be the goodies. because I wrote for Chaosium, I wrote a module called The Dark Mirror, which was about adapting existing adventures. So you play the cultist, you're trying to end the world rather than save it.
Okay.
And that was kind of in my mind when I created the DLC for this.
Right. Okay.
I thought it was an interesting take to be the baddie for a change.
Yeah. It's sort of like got that Dungeon Keeper-esque type fun to it. You can say
it's a.
This is another frantic Google, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a publication date of a story, Catherine. That's the last clue I'm going to give. Come on now.
You can do it. Delta Green, isn't that the that's
That's like a Cthulhu meets X-Files.
Yeah, like sort of modern day,
good,
isn't it?
We played a couple in the office, very, very good.
Oh, okay.
I just back there, we Auroch Digital back there, most recent Kickstarter.
Benefits of working here.
Yeah, I think it's called The Labyrinth or something, which I'm really looking forward to. No, great setting.
Okay.
Right.
So we got anyone else coming?
Yeah, that's fine. Just advance through the turns because you're they come on behind.
Right, here we go.
Right.
But fortunately, we didn't move this turn.
So I am right. Yeah, the Overwatch is basically just leave them. But I didn't want to put Overwatch as a button. I remember now when we're doing the design, I thought it's fiddly having to do an Overwatch button. Why don't you just make it so you leave them with the right amount of action points, and they'll automatically take that shot for you. But of course, what it means is you can't do an aimed shot, which is the better shot. So. Say XCOM, I think when Overwatch shots are always slightly reduced ability, it's around that basically.
And I suppose is this where like momentum comes into Acting Cthulhu Tactics? This is another way of kind of using those, rather than having an Overwatch, because there is an Overwatch button, but you're making a choice to use it with your.
Yeah, so when we were doing the design for Acting Cthulhu Tactics, we'd taken the idea of momentum from the 2D20 role-playing game system that Modiphius do. I really like the idea, but our designer, our designer Adam came up with this idea of saying, well, why don't we make this like an extra resource? And so certain actions like Overwatch. That they're a specialist action you do, and you use your ability there to perform that, and that worked really, really well.
Ouch. Sorry, -13. So, Catherine, Weird Tales.
You're getting very close.
Okay,
very close.
Right. Okay. Weird Tales, as of in the stories that that Lovecraft used to write in the.
Weird Tales was one of the publications that published his stuff.
Oh, there's 2 more. Damn. Never end. It's okay, they're walking into gas. I'm happy.
Yeah, let them. You see, it says they're part protected. Again, I debated this a lot and said if you've got all the gas mass, you should take no damage. But actually, all the gas equipment was crap. Yeah. And even if you were in the gas, even if you were fully protected, you were going to take damage. So I took the design decision to be realistic to the time and say, actually, you take much less damage if you've got gas mass, but you still take damage. Basically, the gas you do not want to be in. So that's me kind of being a bit more true to what it was actually like to be in the midst of that.
Okay, we're going to drop this again. Because, again, when I start using I know there's a power that's super over OP, I'm just going to start using it.
The pigeon flies across there and it makes a bit look like the pigeon is dropping the bomb.
Now, that would have been an interesting game.
It's like the pigeon's actually... it's got
the pigeon should have flown the other way.
Yeah.
And then
he's got a little undercarriage and he's actually doing the hard work of bombing them.
Now, for me, that's now how it is in my head. That's the law for me now.
That's it, yeah. Kill him.
36. Double miss. There is no one behind us again. Is there? No, that's okay. Now I know people coming from behind.
Yeah,
I'm terrified that they're going to be.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to fire again because I think he might die next turn, and actually I probably should.
Well, again, you can wait for people to use your Overwatch on them, and as they get a little,
and let them actually come to you rather than taking the initiative. So it's like, oh.
Yeah, because they might take a shot at you. Right, there you go.
Everyone done?
Yeah. You nearly threw it though. See, he just died in the gas, so let the landscape do its work.
Okay, let's see if we can't. Oh.
You
can hit him.
Well, there's trees. I'm pointing at the screen. You see, there's trees in that. If the tree is blocking your line of sight,
he can't see him from. over the
Yeah,
top.
see, there's a stump of a tree.
Yeah, yeah,
in the
yeah.
middle of the
Okay, I see.
yeah.
So he wouldn't be able to see him either. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay, got it. Okay, logically, hopefully, we've only got one turn. So
I think you'll make it.
everyone's in a good position. Enough people here. No,
Yeah,
you can't see anything.
But I'd leave him. Let him walk his way through the gas towards you. Then you'll take an Overwatch at him. He'll take the gas damage and then an Overwatch.
Good
shot.
point. Very good point. Yeah, very good point.
I'd shoot the one down south if you can hit him.
He might be able to. Sid might be able to hit him. No.
I'd just let him Overwatch him.
It's a miss. It's a miss. That's a miss.
Oh, unlucky. See, he's taking more damage.
Okay.
See,
there we go.
It was
Excellent.
turn 20 exactly.
So,
You asked me.
cool.
I should have just answered. Right, so now we've got to advance now.
Right.
So this is the final part of this mission. So we've defended where we are, and we've got to move down through. So now you've got to move out through the trenches, avoiding the gas, or if you have to move through it, put your gas mask on. And as soon as you can get somebody onto the other side, then you can end it.
You see, they're coming from behind.
So if you scroll right over to the other side, you'll see a little red.
Oh, we've got to get them
You've got
down
to get
there.
everybody over there.
Okay, right. So and we've got some speedy guys behind us, so getting out and moving might be...
well, what you want to do is do... I'm cheating.
I'm always happy.
Well, what you want to do is leave that guy in there and move everybody else into that... move everybody else into that crater with him. So essentially, if you select him, get him into the crater, and basically crater hop. So as you move around, move crater to crater and stay in cover.
I see.
And then kill them as you go. There's also, in the landscape, there is mud. And mud is much slower to move through. So you want to be quite careful when you're moving through mud because it takes more action points.
I see.
I'll point it out when you get to some of it. There's a few bits that you've got to get through, if memory serves me right.
So we might be able to move these guys over.
Yeah, I wouldn't go down through there. I would go down...
This way to this one.
To them.
Okay.
So otherwise you're going to have to go through the gas, or at least skirt through the gas.
If we can...
Yeah, and you just keep your people together and keep the kind of mass ranks of fire.
But that's quite logical, keeping everybody as a sort of moving unit, sort of a... Oh, am I going to hit this guy ever?
Don't complain about this. Don't complain about the random number system, please. Because I have seen that way too. Every time I've done any game that's involved random numbers, and most of the games I've worked on have involved them in one way or another, there's always been people complaining about the random number system as part of that.
It's because you can't physically see the dice roll. The numbers are going on in the background, but you can't physically see that I've got a 1 every time.
I can absolutely assure people that they are properly random, and I've sat there with the random number generator generating lists of numbers to verify that to be the case. Have we got our pigeon back?
No, not yet. I don't think so. No.
Okay.
We used it a bit too early on that last one. See if we can't. There we go. See? Proof. Right. So we really want to move. Can you actually move here? No. Is that too far?
No. Oh yeah, it's a bit too far.
Stay in cover. But is there anyone that doesn't have? They've all got knives.
Yeah, you can stay ahead of them.
So moving him.
Yeah. I think in this second part of the mission, you definitely want to be a bit more mobile. That we keep spawning people in, so you don't really benefit by
staying still.
Yeah. I mean, they will make their way up behind you, and they are
very quick.
They're reasonably fast, yeah. But yeah, again, stay in cover where you can, and there'll be more of them spawning on the other side. But like I say, I'll just keep moving forward.
Okay, so come on.
I am waiting for the dreadful moment where I advise you to do something. I've forgotten what it was, and you die, and the people are like, "Oh, God, he doesn't even know his own game."
You're all allowed to laugh at me.
Okay.
But don't worry, I would have no doubt boldly just said, no, don't worry about it, no.
You know,
I think I know exactly how this game works now. Thank you very much, Mr. I developed it.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, they've picked their target at least.
Hurrah!
Hey, now friendly fire, is that on?
Yeah, you can. I believe if you do it, you'll damage yourself.
Okay.
But you are. It might still be worth doing. I would be tempted to just drop them into the trenches and then just shoot the hell out of them from there because
they're going to be in cover.
Yeah, you'll be in cover and they won't be, and they'll be attacking you from not in cover.
Okay. Right, let's do this. Let's see if we can't get rid of 95.
Yeah.
Lurking fear and other stories. Catherine, you
the publication date. I think you're correct. Yeah, I think it was the. I think that you're onto the right one. I think it was the the first date that the Call of Cthulhu, all of the Call of Cthulhu was published in one place.
Oh, really?
That's what I believe, 1947, because they'd been published in parts before. But yeah, I believe that to be the case, which means Catherine's won.
We see
if that's what you meant, Catherine. But then,
which you will say now, yes, you'll definitely say.
That wasn't what I meant. So,
good job, Catherine. Excellent work, and that's some excellent. You stuck around. That's the most important thing. You're tenacious.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can't get rid of this guy first. I'm loving these percentages now. They're in like in things.
Yeah.
So.
You got enough? No, you haven't got enough. No. Oh well. They're going to come in. You might be needing some medikits.
Catherine, leave some details afterwards. You have to. I'll drop you a line if you.
I have your email, I believe.
Nope. Double miss.
Right. You might want to be doing some medikit.
Are there?
Shit.
Is there a limit to the number of medikits you can use, or are they?
You've only got
one per
2 equipment slots. So you can only give 2 per. But as the game progresses, you start to get access to spells, and there are some very potent healing spells.
Ooh. Brightmare's gone down loads, by the way.
Yeah.
He's the one that's. Excuse me.
Well, you might want.
Oh, actually,
he's got the least.
Would that be better?
Yeah. There's 5 to 8 damage though, but that'll kill him.
There we go. Because then that also it doesn't give me enough points to 61. That's not too bad.
Yeah, well done.
ZQYQ, thanks for the follow.
Right.
Let's see if we can take this guy out. There we go. This
right. Now I move other people forward. You definitely want to keep moving people forward. Okay.
Is that everybody we can move now? Yep. And so you see there's some that are going to spawn.
Right. So you see this big in the centre here. This big stretch of mud. That's very slow to move through.
Right.
So what you want to do is get everybody up to into that crater there. Once everybody's there, then you go for a run for it. I wouldn't bring him out because we spawn people in.
Right.
And so he might be stood out of cover when they spawn in and take a shot at him.
Oh.
I'm a bit of a bastard where I spawn people. So.
It could be like here.
I can't remember where it is, but I think it's good. No, nobody? Okay, you're running ahead of it, which is great. So just get everybody into that. You want to do the run across the mud.
Together.
When everybody's together.
Again, that's got that quite immersive feel to it. That's kind of what you want to be doing with the. If you're in this situation, you wouldn't just be going off by yourself and sending the toughest one out, would you?
No, well, lots of people playing it did. Because you very much you've got the benefit of my hindsight.
Very true.
Having built the level, having designed the level and built the level in the level editor, I know exactly. Well, I can't remember it all, but I'm reasonably confident what's going to be happening.
Right. Oh, let's move you down here.
Yeah, so it costs a bit more action points to get up a trench and down, if memory serves me right.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one dropped in. So so the next move we're going to try and dart across. Actually, you can't make it across, can you?
I wouldn't.
Just wait.
I think there's a trigger region you're heading into.
Ah, there we go. And see if I moved him, that would never have happened. So there you go. So yes, that's experience talking there.
You're spawning in now, but leg it.
Right.
I think this is a pretty optimal run. I think we're doing very well.
Okay, come on, boys. As far as you can go.
See, you can only get halfway through the mud. That's the thing. You get halfway through the mud, and there's loads of them out there with rifles.
Yeah.
They make a real mess of you. This is only the first level, so we're not being too harsh on it.
I was gonna say.
There's other levels where there's mud, and it's much harder. And again, that was something I felt very important in the design, that we had to have First World War. You know, the mud is a big feature of the First World War, and we had to kind of reflect that in the game.
Yeah. Oh, come on! You gonna move?
Remind, if you need to, you can these corner buttons, the little arrows.
I'll let you move around.
Allowed you to rotate the camera. So sometimes it's quite hard to select a particular point if there's another unit in the way.
Standing in front of you and doing stuff with it. So
the camera and do it. Which again, I think is similar enough to Cthulhu Tactics. Just to do with that kind of isometric view. Yeah, see, they come on right behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, and he's hit like the one that I didn't really want to get hit at all. Okay, right. You need to go first, Hill, because I want to get you as close as I can get you. Trudging his way.
So the way we did it in this one is there are some characters who are important for the story, and if they die, you fail the mission. So Hill and Brightmere being examples of it.
Yeah.
And characters like him, he's a
I
He's a
feel
generated character, so if he dies, you don't fail the mission.
Yeah.
I think Brown has to survive as well.
Right.
At this point,
I now feel a slight affinity for all of them. So I now,
Hall's done a great job.
He's been shooting. He's been, you know. So it would be a crime.
They're going to be a bit vulnerable now, out of
cover.
Yeah.
And no doubt we're going to spawn someone else in. So I just kind of want to go for the hero's return and try and
Right.
That's good. He's wants to do the mud now.
I think you'll manage it. Yeah.
Got this one now.
That's one. There you go.
Oh, right.
This one, you only had to get one of them.
Oh, right, cool.
God, our level system was cleverer than I remember, so that's cool.
Let us take the battles to them and a little digging in their trenches to see what we can find. I know just the man to help us. Whee! Alright, cool. And I got an achievement as well. Battle winner. Investigators lost 0. Enemy units destroyed 34. So, I suppose, because in Acting Cthulhu, you wouldn't have it tells you the number of enemies that were there, and so if you miss any, you kind of go, oh, there was somewhere else.
No,
we
don't. Again, this Acting Cthulhu does a slightly better job of the
money earned. Interesting.
Yeah, so you just get, based on how well you did, you get money, and you'll see in a minute you spend that money buying equipment. So you go to the quartermaster, and you can buy stuff.
Oh, cool.
So you've got each of your characters there, and you can buy. You can sell stuff and you can buy stuff.
Right.
So if you select, for example, the Trench Club, which is the one in the middle, you'll see the stats of it. It does a lot more damage, but it's 20 AP for every attack.
Whereas this is 15, but does less.
Yeah, so that's a kind of better knife. Or you can stick with your bayonet. And again, down the bottom, for example, you've got...
See, now this is... I'm interested in this.
Now, what you'll notice, though, actually, that doesn't do that much. It does 14 to 18, so it's not a huge amount of damage.
AP looks like the...
It's 12, though. It's really... Yeah, so basically, you can do 3 or 4 shots with that.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a machine gun. That was the idea of it. Yeah. So you get off a lot of shots. Whereas if you go up to the rifle up the top, that does a lot more damage, but you're only ever really going to get away with one shot with it per turn. So, yeah. Now,
we've got 406, so I would... I mean, really, he needs something else. Brightmere needs, and...
Well, I wouldn't Brightmere, because what you'll find yourself doing is he will get... When you start getting spell books, which is soon... I think you could give him something for the meantime, then you can just sell it later, I guess.
Yeah.
Although you sell stuff at, I believe, half what you buy it for.
I see.
So.
The idea of giving somebody a machine gun makes me... I quite enjoy that. I think that's quite a good sell.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to buy the...
Hotchkiss.
Yeah. So... did you just double click on it, or do you... there we go, done.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool, right, so now if I wanted to sell it, it's 170.
Yeah.
Right, so it is half. That's not good.
Now, you want to buy more first aid kits to replace any that were lost.
Right, okay, that's interesting. So they don't just stay.
Yeah.
So is that...
No, you've got 2 there. So if you go to not Brightmere, is it? Yeah, so buy one for him. So select the slot, select the equipment slot. Now select what you want to go in it. And there you go.
And there we go, right. And then...
brown the same, yeah. So they're always good to get. Okay, if you go to armor, if you go on the equipment across, you'll see. So they're starting to add stuff. So this is leather armor. So it adds an extra 2 points, but it's 2 AP cost. So
that's just for movement and
so your character every turn will have 2 less action points for whatever they're doing.
So Brightmare doesn't have anything. Is it worth giving?
That's
him
why
something?
he was taking much more damage. So a helmet, everything costs you some AP, but you can see the helmet adds. What's the helmet adding?
2.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth giving people some armor.
Yeah,
the helmet's cheaper, so. But again, you can only have 1 helmet, so that's why the pricing difference. You think, well, why would you ever buy the body armor? Well, that's because if you want to armor somebody up with 2 loads,
you can put them on as one thing. For it's like, that makes sense. Cool. Okay. Well, that's a good bit of money spending there.
Yeah, and you want to save some because there'll be other things you can buy later on.
Always cool.
So go to the investigator upgrade now. So we had this system in here. So everything you can select. So if you select hit points, for example, you see the plus button there. Mm-hmm. So you've got if you click on it now, you'll see. So you've got sorry, go back down. Yeah, you'll see you've got 1,165 XP to spend. Mm-hmm. Everything you select, it tells you in brackets how much it will cost to add to that.
Right.
So, for example, you've given him heavy weapons now. So I would select heavy weapons, and then you want to spend some points. So it's 10 for the first. Yeah. So you click that. Yeah. It'll cost him 10 for another point, and keep going. And what you'll notice is, as you go, the cost of getting more starts to go up. So it's exponential. Yeah. So the early improvement is quite cheap. Yeah. The later improvement is much more expensive.
Got you. So ideally, I'd like to get him up similar level to his handgun numbers, so that works. 59.
Yeah.
So that's going to cost me 200 to.
You've got 4 units to kind of bump up the stats on. So I wouldn't spend it all. So yeah, you might want to jump through to.
So will that automatically stay on, or do you need to press OK with it?
Yeah, press OK. Yeah. Okay, go back into. Oh no, you could. I think you can do all of them and then
then press OK for all of them in one go. So it's like
this was not the best UI design. I'll hold my hand up for this and say our UI designer here, Chris, is a much better UI designer than I am. So I'm very glad he's involved in our projects.
See, learning again. It's all about learning. So
I would definitely go to your Sid. You want to if you got his artillery skill, it's actually reasonably good. But he's got a rifle 55. So that's always worth the spend. To start
I was going to say that's probably that's worth a few points,
again,
isn't it?
Brightmere's, Brightmere's abilities on his pistol, if that's what you're going to leave him with.
Yeah, he's going to just stick with that. So
you don't have to spend it. You can save it till later.
See, this is interesting. Cthulhu Mythos, everything's...
If you select... Yeah, so his Cthulhu Mythos is quite high. So when you come across spell books, that's what the Cthulhu Mythos is essentially like the hit percentage for a spell book. And psychoanalysis is when you get exposed to Mythos creatures, they damage your sanity. Right. And that's used to affect that. Your other scores there... so obviously spending on hit points is really beneficial. If you up dexterity, intelligence, strength and power, they all up other areas of things. They all have some other knock-on thing. It's a bit more esoteric though.
Right.
You get the big gains. Again, I have to say this was not the best progression system in the world.
No, that makes sense.
It's all right.
I
think the one we did in Auroch Cthulhu is 1,000 times better.
I think I was going to put some points into here, mainly for the fact that he's getting bad so much. Yeah. So
he didn't have armor either. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that gets. Yeah, that'll affect him. But I think your big spends on this are the main weapon you're going for and your hit points are the thing that help you with bumping stuff up. 200
left. We're using this quite a lot, so that would be quite a handy one to...
Yeah, if you select one of those other stats, does it tell you? I can't remember whether we told you what they do. If you click POW and then click the question mark button. We do tell you, right? So, sort of. No, we don't tell you. Yeah. So dexterity affects action points. Right. So no, there is some value. So if you start upping people's dexterity, and
they can do more stuff.
Does action points. Strength, you get a melee damage bonus. Mm-hmm. And revival time, that's how long it takes before you're resuscitated.
Right. Okay.
So POW is.
So if you leave someone dead for a while, that's bad news, isn't it?
Yeah. So spell power bonus is a bit like the critical hit function. and also the revival. You know, you're stronger in mine.
Yeah.
So actually, upping your dex does also have. Now I remember, does also have quite a proportionate benefit to. Although it's very expensive.
It's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Maybe that's something to spend my next points on.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Maybe I'll leave that there to win that part of me to say something left over in the bank anyway.
So I would definitely save now.
Okay.
So swap items is just your ability to change in between your characters.
And do you go back to swap, or is that like a?
No, you click off now with the tick because you've done. It's got an auto save at the beginning and end of every one. So So now we do a trench raid.
Right. Right,
So,
we're going to go in. This is what he was saying in the last mission. We want to go in and try and go into.
Yeah, and again, this is based on.
We have someone new.
Yeah, so a trench raid was a thing that was done a lot during the First World War to gather intelligence. They wanted to get prisoners. They wanted to find out who was opposing them, the strength of it. So at night they would kind of camo up. They would often use clubs and things like that because they didn't want to draw as much attention. And they'd charge into the, sneak across into the enemy lines. A bit like a special operations-y thing.
Right.
Try and grab some people and get back. It was very dangerous. Very dangerous role to be put in.
Yeah.
But again, we're using the kind of historical basis for the mission that we're undertaking here.
No, that makes sense. So, okay, Mr. Carlton Green has joined us. He's a specialist at martial arts and sideburns as well. You can't really see from here, but look at those.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So he's our American character.
Right.
So remember, 1915, America is not yet in the war, and I wanted a bit of a more. So again, we wanted to give the team a range of characters, different abilities, and each mission we introduce a new character, so you end up with a slightly bigger team. So Carlton is our sort of gung ho adventurer type,
right? Okay.
Slightly Indiana Jones.
I was going to say Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Well, Indiana Jones is a professor. Remember, he's a liberal arts professor.
Yeah.
Carlton Green's a bit more bombastic than that as a character, but yeah, he's very much that. So from here, if we're going to charge in. What you want to do is get close to that dressing station.
I was going to say
that position there. Set yourselves up there, and that's a good strong point to be based out of.
We're going to trigger everyone's Overwatch here, aren't we? Okay, so he stops his move, so you can.
Yeah. Right. Once you hit Overwatch, it stops you.
Okay.
And then you can pick it back up again.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's quite logical actually, because you might want to move them somewhere else based on where people are firing from and doing whatever.
Yeah, or if you take damage, you might not want to continue.
Okay, Hill. I want Hill to be here.
Yeah, you want Hill to be up there in that position,
and he's got a big machine gun now.
Exactly,
so
he'll start doing some serious damage.
So there's more of him this direction, so that's where I want to put him.
Yeah. So again, you've got to kind of pick a path you're going to take up, so that the barbed wire restricts you. There's a few kind of clear routes, but again, you don't want to get caught out in the mud.
Okay.
I've forgotten how much I played this level. I've been through this level so many times in testing it.
You having like a really terrified, flashback.
I'm very, very proud of this game. So it's lovely to see it again. I've just forgotten, these levels I've played, probably approaching definitely the higher end of double digits. Some of these levels, these earlier levels, because they exist for. Right. So Carlton Green has a.
See how he does with shooting. Okay, no, I'm fully expecting him to be much better with a whatchamacallit, a big old
he's very good with his
club in his hand.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's what we created him as. He's a close combat unit. So some of the units will stick on a position and just shoot at you, and others of them will move. So when we create the level in the level editor, I was able to say, well, this unit here I want to move, and this unit I want to create static.
Oh, he's open actually. Sorry, I didn't realise that.
So the AI is quite simple.
Right.
Which one of the things in Auroch Cthulhu Tactics, the AI is much more complicated, which creates some odd emergent effects, which obviously some people have picked up. Why is the AI doing X?
Yeah.
It's very hard to account for every scenario that the AI might get into. So the more complicated you make its abilities, the
better it's going to be. Yeah. Let's go from there. So yeah. Right. So we have. He's going to be. Right, we've got one here. So is a critical always a hit? Always a kill? Or
no,
not?
It just does much more damage.
Right.
So it's more likely to be a kill, but not necessarily.
Okay. Can we see this guy? That's 26 to 66. Okay. It's funny actually because obviously he can see him here, but here we've got a he can't actually spot him because he's not in a
Yeah, but there's those bricks, that small section of wall there
that we could use as cover.
Yeah, that's.
But we'd be open this side.
So again, the best way to do this level is to get into
one of those trenches again.
Yeah, and then shoot. So I often would hold this bottom one because it's very useful to
down here.
Yeah, and often keep somebody down there, hold that position because it's a good retreat point. If you take a lot of damage, retreat there,
and then use everybody else in up here. Yeah, that makes sense. They can see a lot more then. That gives them a bit much more vision on the battlefield. So let's move you here.
Yeah. So
it's down 1 AP away.
Right,
that is frustrating. So I'll move him here. That gives me a bit more this way, and then.
So he's got a lot of AP. So as a close combat unit, we gave him a lot more AP. You'll notice he's got quite a bit. So he's very good. He's designed to get in and knock the crap out of people. But again, you don't want to end your turn in the same square as them, but with not enough AP to do the hitting.
Yeah. Okay, let's get him in there. Let's move him down.
I think green. You could probably swap to his pistol and get a shot in or two. At least one.
Yeah. There we go.
There's a guy out of cover.
He technically is out of cover. He's in cover. He's
him.
And
he's quite close. So.
Let's see if we can't. And these two have already fired.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did want to somehow try and do a director's cut version of the game where all the text that comes in, we there's like references to explain what all the different mythos and First World War stuff. Some of the stuff I talked about now, I thought that'd be quite fun to do. But I was going to take the whole script for the game and just annotate it out, which is a very nerdy thing to do. Probably like 4 people would ever read it, and it's a lot of work for 4 people to ever read it.
Yeah.
And appreciate what you've done.
Yeah, to get it right and the right things. It's like
Yeah.
I mean, would you ever like to make a? And I mean, obviously, maybe Acting Cthulhu Tactics feels a little bit like a spiritual successor to this.
It absolutely is, yeah.
But would you ever like to make a actual successor to this?
I would like to make more turn-based strategy stuff. I would like to make some more stuff set in the Cthulhu thing. Yeah, I think so. But for me, Acting Cthulhu was the game that was the successor to this. That did a lot of the stuff, as we've talked about. It's got better UI, the AI is more evolved, it's got more weapons, it's got a better progression system. There's so many more things. So at the moment, my desire to make a Cthulhu turn-based thing is very much assuaged by having worked on Auroch Cthulhu Tactics.
Yeah, and having that from there. So yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, it's just it's interesting, especially because if you've because obviously this has had such success previously, and then Cthulhu has been it's been really good and it's been a fun game, and we've all been thoroughly enjoying it. But it's because it's a different setting, because it's First World War, Second World War. Unless you go to a third one, and you do a Delta Green with it and do like the
could be, maybe we do a 90s set one or something. I definitely
a
like
Gulf
to see
War
more.
one. That would be has anyone done that? It's like
no, I don't think I have. And again, so another game I worked on is the Conflict Desert Storm series. So
right.
For me, again, doing a game set in the 1990 Gulf War would be a kind of a repeat on something that I've done before. The gameplay stuff that we did in there, I've not seen many other games really successfully repeat that formula.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because it worked really well, and it's something, again, that I'd like to revisit.
Finally. Got rid of this guy. Right, okay, so my plan on the next turn is, because that guy's gone, that guy's going to come running over, so we're going to shoot with everybody else, and then I really want to see Cole bring his club out and try and womp on somebody. Yeah. And then we want to probably move into that little bit there, don't we?
Yeah,
try
again,
to start
you want to
progressing forward.
Notice all the mud around there.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to watch your action point move, that you don't want to get caught in the mud. So some very unpleasant level designer made it very deliberate that it's easy to get stuck in the mud at this point. With all these other units around, you can often get quite embattled. Mm-hmm. But there's a good opportunity for some air cover, some artillery with all them lot.
I was going to say, actually, because Sid is in the wrong spot, because he really needs to be in here somewhere. Yeah. Because I suppose he could fire first and then go from there.
I would up it a bit. Is that the up one?
Yeah, it is another one. Yeah.
He does look like he's praying.
Yeah, he's praying to the pigeon bombing gods to.
Yeah.
protect him and send him for... he can't make it in there? He can make it in there?
Yeah.
Get him in there, that's alright.
Right.
He's not doing much on this back bit,
No,
so...
So now this machine gun comes into its own. So you can see it was that 17 AP, so you're at least going to get 2 shots with that.
Oh.
So what you tend to find with the machine gun is the pose shots are less useful than... you can do the calculation of like, you're better off doing multiple shots than too many...
Yeah. It's like...
this one actually you managed to get... You got 4.
Okay.
So you've got enough AP, I think, to do one more shot. Oh no, that was the last one. So yeah, so he's managed to get quite a few out.
He won't be able to... What's his... So he needs 20 to hit. Can I move him? Is this cover? No, because that's mud.
You will not get there, I don't think.
Can I move him here? Oh. No. That's not cover. No, don't want to move you there.
I would not. I would switch to his pistol and
try and...
I feel like I'm overly managing.
No. It's totally fine. No, because I would go diving in, and this is. Right. And again, the people on stream have seen me do this before. I've just gone in and then gone. Maybe I should redo that. Stellaris being a very good example of that on Mondays, by the way. If you're that's at 5 till 7 now, by the way. If you're joining in from this, we've moved the Monday slot till 5 till 7, and then Thursday staying at 4 till 6. So we're nearly done. We've got about 15 minutes more today. So, and if there's any recommendations of games and other bits and bobs you want us to play, I want to see, let us know. Write in the comments. Give us a shout.
It's also useful to know if people are enjoying having somebody who's worked on the game here commenting on it. Does that add to your interest in watching it, or does it actually you'd rather somebody who wasn't telling you what was about to happen and why this decision was made, just want to get on and play it? It'd be useful to know. Would you like to watch me silently curse the level designer of this game, or in front of them? Do you want the level designer there to receive the curses? And you guys can also, so if you aren't following already, make sure you do follow us on whichever platform you're watching us from, and also on all our social medias. You can go through all of them. We don't have a Pinterest. It's the only one I could think of that I'm not going to say. Oh, really? Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Well, if we are, well done us. Oh, right, no, maybe we don't, actually. No, I don't think we do. I think with Red Wasp Design that we did this, I think I created one there. Wow. Pinterest do a thing is... the Switch version is very soon, Catherine. I don't know the exact date, but it is very soon. In fact, we were having a discussion about it with one of the team working on it just before coming on air. So it's ticking along very nicely. Be very, very soon. Yeah. Oh, sorry, you were going to say about Pinterest then? Oh, yeah. So I created a bunch of Pinterest boards of Cthulhu-themed art that I quite liked. And then, I think Pinterest do this thing now, don't they, where you kind of make you try and log in. Yeah, every time you go into it. That sort of put me off using it. Yeah. I see what they're trying to do, which is make you see. So it's 20 for a hit, isn't it? So yeah. How many was it? It was 59, was it? Yeah, so it was 50. Oh, well, we're going anyway. 5 off. And that can't even hit the rubbish. Right, okay, what we're going to have to do is we're going to try and weaken him. Yeah, weaken him. Oh, that was my bad. So again, this is why you're here. This is right. This is right. So my role here is now to say I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done exactly. Yeah. In fact, I could literally just sit here while you're playing and say, suck my teeth occasionally. I mean, that's essentially what people who watch me on stream do anyway. It's like, really? Is that... Thanks, man. Right. Actually, we seem to have cleared someone out. Oh, right. Okay, we're going to go on the raid into the... So again, what we're doing is kind of drip feeding. So the first bit, you've got a bunch of people to kill. So if you go north from here, obviously, you'll see... There's a table there. Right. Suspicious. Which kind of idiot left the vital intelligence just lying there on a table... in a trench that was vulnerable? I mean, history's already answered the question for us why we won the war. Yeah, that sort of person should be court-martialed for such a dereliction of duty. There's someone there now. Yeah, well, no, he's been there the whole time. Did I not kill him? I thought I killed him in the last. No. Okay, you had to kill the officer. That was the trigger. Right. Yeah. Serves me right. Right. Okay. So I don't know what Sid's just seems to be wandering around. slightly aimlessly. I would move him up with a few.
My plan.
Leaving him in cover.
So I was going to put him in cover there, but although he doesn't look like he is in cover. Doesn't have his little cover.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that wall. Do you know that might have been a mistake on our part that we didn't mark the tile. So the editor you do this in, I'd have to mark the tiles that counted as cover.
Right.
I guess maybe that's a bug. It's not going to get fixed.
I was going to say, yeah.
You got the game, sorry.
This is it now, by the way. There is no more development after this. And so
see, Hill's getting quite hammering because he's the foremost unit. So I think...
Can you give him the medical kit now, just to up his health now?
You could select Brightmere, and then select Hill, and it should say, there you go.
Wunderbar. Right. Yeah. My plan is to move him over this side, over here, over to this bit, and then march him up here and around.
Yeah, you could.
That was my plan.
Okay.
Good plan, bad plan.
Well, no, I mean it's
not a good plan.
It's going to take you more time to go round and up. You just want to try and get into.
So we just want to go straight
cover
through.
to cover, basically. So I spent time measuring out with the hex paper how long it would take you to get between the different points to make it slightly tricky, but certainly doable. So you
still have those somewhere?
No.
Oh, that's the same.
But if you kill the person in the other trench, you should be able to get. I think it'd take you at least, depending on the AP, at least 2 turns to get into the trench. But then that's the thing is, if you don't kill those people and you're moving, you're very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Or your option is to kill them before you move.
Right.
But interestingly, you've got a tactic going with Green down the bottom. He's got a lot of AP, so you could. I don't think that's. I think that's actually quite a good tactic to march him up. See, you got 64 go there where you clicked before.
That's 30.
So you've actually got a lot more. That's because you're not going through the mud.
Yeah.
So if you go through the mud at the narrowest point, you're going to get much more bang for your AP.
Yeah. Because you might even be able to...
Yeah, so you actually got through the mud in this one. So I think you might even make one more square. No. Oh well, yeah.
You can get across from here anyway.
So he'll be able to get in there, and then
Hill's probably just going to have to... I mean, or I move him is the other...
Yeah, I mean, the machine gun, I believe, is much more effective in close range. We introduce an elephant gun later on, which is one of my favourite weapons in the game.
Like a proper old blunderbuss type thing.
No, it's like a really powerful rifle.
Right.
That was developed for people who hunt elephants for whatever reason you'd want to do that. But when they'd find that during the war that some of the snipers would hide behind, they'd build these little metal like hides,
right,
and then they'd hide in that, and the Lee Enfield rifle wasn't strong enough to pierce the metal,
right,
and so then they started deploying these, and in fact some of the officers who were hunters and that sort of a Victorian chappie would have their own elephant guns, and they'd bring them over with them to fight in the war. Yeah, it was, again, the First World War is a fascinating piece of social history, just because it very much represents a period where history is changing between a more Victorian,
civilized gentleman combat type thing,
very much royalty and nobility as the kind of a hierarchical society into more one we'd recognise today, and that a lot of that switch happens over the First World War. So there was a huge controversy in the First World War, the fact that officers had butlers.
Right.
So there are thousands of soldiers on the British side whose job is not to fight, is to clean, serve the officers.
Yeah.
And there was a revolt amongst the rank and file troops saying, well, why this is we're risking our lives, yet there's perfectly able-bodied soldiers whose job is just to shine the shoes at somebody, and this is not right. So again, it's a bit of a weird anachronism. You think of the war, you don't think of the class system as being the part of it, but obviously remember the Russian Revolution happens during the First World War. And it's a very real fear of the governments of Britain and Germany that they will be next. In fact, I believe the Germans facilitate Lenin getting back into Russia with the express aim of kicking off the Russian Revolution, so that the Russians withdraw from...
hang on, wasn't there a thing they chartered a train or something? They specifically made sure this train could get through,
he had an arrangement with them. But again, I mean, the Russians are throwing troops into these bleak landscapes with very little equipment and weapons, and they are getting massacred by the Germans. Very brave soldiers fighting away, but under terrible conditions with terrible equipment. It's no surprise they rebel against that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes makes total sense, doesn't it? It's like a.
See, you got, as I say, it's worked out. You got just enough corner to corner that you can get out. It's almost like somebody sat down and counted
all of these things. So, see, no,
I wouldn't split them up.
Yeah, they got to move together, haven't they?
Well, it's up to you, but
I think these two have got to move at the same time. I think they can't. Yeah, they can't, because otherwise they're just going to be trapped.
Yeah, but you got rifles, so he's got a reasonable range shot. You should be able to provide a bit of covering fire. I mean, I would actually, unless he takes damage, I would leave one in the middle to just shoot at anyone who comes in.
Anyone who's unfortunate enough to.
Yeah, basically.
And I suppose you've got the one extra person on this now. Oh, thanks for the follow, Brew, B-U-R-U, Brew. So I'm so bad. I have to try and remember pronouncing everybody's usernames on here. I've got a terrible one as well, so it's really good. Diablos Vert. I bet everyone calls it like Vert or DV or stuff like that, and I'm just like, oh, that's probably easier. It's just a. So I should have picked something more sensible when I was a 16-year-old.
Yeah, because that's what 16-year-olds do.
What would I do? What name will make me sound more intelligent when I'm 32? It's just right. I've got one up here. I've still forgotten this guy. I don't know why I keep forgetting him. Maybe because he keeps missing, so I'm not like.
No, well, that's why I mean it's useful to leave somebody there. So leave a chain of them basically, because once you pick up that intelligence there, we spawn a bunch of units in. So that's why it's useful actually to leave them.
Here we go, right.
So you need to kill that guy there.
Right, I want to use, because I want to see this.
Yeah.
He's probably just going to miss, isn't he? So
I've been hyping him up as a close combat unit.
Like a 96%.
Bang.
There we go. Clobbering time.
So you get into there. Right, I think you've got to end the turn there. Oh, what is it? If you click the question mark, what is it? Is it to give you the... I'm trying to remember what you want to do. Yeah, click on unit portrait, sorry, that's it. Click on, Oh, Brightmere's got to get there. Right.
Right.
Leave him there. That is good, because they'll spawn in if you...
He's going to cover that position.
If Brightmere goes there on his own...
My trouble is Brightmere's here.
That's all right. I'd move him up, but don't put him into the mud. Move him up through that way.
Okay. Right, so get him out through...
Yeah. Leave that guy in there. Yeah, so move Brightmere up there.
And then drop him in here, or...?
You might be able to get around. If you go up a bit more, yeah. You want to get as close as you can, basically. I think he'll be all right. I think famous last word. But if he takes a bit of damage, it's all right. Just bring him. Once he's got the intelligence,
he can then
you bring them down to this point, the medical station.
Right,
leave him there for a couple of turns to recharge.
I see.
This guy won't move again. Spoiler, because he
can't.
Because I've told them that I want him to be a static defense unit. So yeah, you're getting that insider knowledge there.
Okay.
So you could bring him up next to the
over here.
Yeah, and then that way he'll heal next turn.
And he's also got an opportunity to fire down at this guy over here, and he's not going to fire up here. Yeah. So we then have the points here, which means we can go for the mythical guy that does nothing. There we go.
Critical.
Amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. Right, so that's everybody's points used up as best we can. Yep. Okay.
So he takes a hit, but he heals it.
That's alright. I'm happy with that.
I'm glad I remembered how that worked. It's been really embarrassing. Right. So Brightmere's got to examine the intelligence. So he has to be there for like a full turn or something.
Right.
That's
okay.
What that
fine.
Marker is. So I would, do a bunch of shooting.
Do my fancy shooting, as we call it when Ariane has a close whenever she's near anything. It's just fancy shooting. She's always at 100, so another favourite number to find there. So, okay, right now here we go. This is where the real MVP comes in. Captain Hill is turning into the MVP of this game at the moment. Actually, I think that's
because he's got a big gun.
His big old machine gun. Oh, I say tentatively. So again, that green, is that the critical thing again, or is that like a...
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, sorry,
I don't remember. It's good.
Yeah.
They can probably take a shot.
Is he worth staying there, or is he...
Yeah, if memory serves me right, when you finish that thing, we spawn a bunch of units on at various places. and if you've got everybody clustered in the one place, it's because you've got to get Brightmere back.
Right.
It makes it much harder.
Hey, there we go.
Because everybody's got to move, and then they can't be shooting. Whereas if you've got some people in the trenches, so I'd move Brightmere. Well, you want to finish the turn. Don't move him off.
Yeah. Okay.
So finish the turn.
Oh, just move my mouse too far over. No.
Is he still doing it? Ah, right.
There we go. Right.
So
okay.
Swift exit. So again, I would move him down.
Aha.
Yeah. So these guys, right.
Ooh, these are new ones.
Yeah, so these are called the Awakened Stormtroopers. So
Right.
in level 1, you got the Storm Soldiers,
Yeah.
which were just advanced infantry. These are the Awakened Zone infantry.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are like really armoured. They've got these weird backpacks on. They have shotguns.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
They're quite deadly and close. So yeah, you definitely want to be moving quickly. Which is why, so you see, fortunately, you've got him there. So he can guy with a backpack with a big machine gun.
Okie dokie. So these guys have got to move
Yep.
in here post haste.
Yep.
Okay, good.
You want to get Hill out of there as well.
Yeah, let's move him here. Yeah, he doesn't want to be standing anywhere in there. Let's get them all in the trench. Get them all in here. Right, okay. You can actually fire, so...
Yeah. These guys are quite armoured, so they're quite hard.
Quite hard to hit.
So
So
if you select one, you should see their stats, actually, if you select one. Yeah, so he's got
Oh,
7
cool.
points of armour.
right, I like the
Yeah.
the icon for it. It's
Iron
quite cool.
Cultist.
Yeah.
There was a very small character count for the portrait things, which I struggled because I gave them all much more longer, complicated names, and then I had to rewrite them all.
It didn't fit into the bit in the top.
Which again is a legacy of doing the original game on iPhone. Because
Right.
if we'd have done this on PC, we'd have had a lot more space to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, regrets that I wish we'd have done the PC version first and then the iPhone version.
Then had the other bits on top of
Yeah.
it. Well, I was going to say actually though, because in my head here, my logic is that he's like become so ingrained in the cultism stuff, like because the other guy's white face has gone down, it's like so incoherent.
Yeah.
They've had to slap a mask on him and be like,
Yeah.
okay, let's.
Right.
Okay.
You selected.
Because I've
him,
selected
yeah.
him.
You can select them and see the stats. So yeah. Has
We-
he got?
I was going to say he has his pigeon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's use the pigeon instead. So that's much more responsible.
Pigeon's legged it. There you go.
Wow. Okay. That was an instant
So I
kill
think
before
you've
for the
got-
others. So
Yeah, I think he's got AP, and you want to.
is it worth taking him? Oh, there's another one. over
They're
there.
quite far away.
That's only 5%. Can you see these guys better? 10.
Yeah.
It's better numbers, isn't it?
No, that's not bad numbers. It's not to be sniffed
That's
at.
good.
Because that guy with the machine gun is pretty dangerous.
So we're just trying to get them
get
back here
everybody
now.
out,
So
yeah.
yep, okay. So it's a run now. It's a speed run.
Because we spawn a whole bunch of them in, and if you stand to try and duke it out, you'll eventually you'll run the risk of getting overwhelmed.
Oh wow, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, and these guys have got shotguns. They're pretty.
They look like the sort of
See?
GoldenEye-esque shotguns.
Yeah.
Remember to say?
They
Oh
are.
wow, they're really off the hill, aren't they?
Yeah, they are doing a lot of damage. So.
Oof. Do all of them have to make it back?
you need to. Yeah. So you're probably going to have to now take a bunch of them out. So if he goes up and close combats them, he can probably do quite a lot of damage.
Okay. Nice, very nice. Or do I want to hit this guy?
Well, how many AP? Yeah. No, you want to kill somebody.
Because could one of these guys not kill him if he gets an 80? That's going to take him
Yeah,
down. And
that's
there's
true. That is true.
That's
Yeah.
my logic anyway.
No.
There we
Okay.
go. So this then allows. Oh, he hasn't got a. Well, he needs to get him up, doesn't he?
I would focus on killing them and then resuscitate him.
Ooh.
Because if they start shooting at you, unless you get rid of them, some of their shots, then they'll just overwhelm you. As soon as you resuscitate him, they'll just start shooting him again.
Oh gosh. So I was going to be like, oh, I'll use his because I'll get more shots, but actually he's only doing 1 damage. That's a crit. It's 1 dead.
No,
Good.
that's good.
Happy with that.
So hopefully he will get him. Fingers crossed.
Yes, very good.
Right. Okay. So is the guy you've got?
Right, so you still need 20
yeah,
AP for
yeah.
that. So right, okay.
So he has got. There's a guy coming down Oh yeah, you might be able to take because he's very dangerous.
He's at 46,
and
then
south of you though.
There's one here.
You can't hit him. No, off to that way. There's a guy coming in. Yeah, get him.
Amazing. Okay. Nice.
See why it's good to leave him.
Yeah, 100%. So he might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he's quite strong.
But he took out 2 of them.
Yeah, he's quite strong.
Straight away, so even if he does go down, it's for the greater good.
Yeah.
And I won't do that in a
This
West
guy's
Country
moving
accent.
through the mud, so he's not going to get very far. But yeah,
He's going to stay still, isn't he? Come on. It's a miss. It's a miss. Damn it. Damn it.
Okay, you're in trouble. We might fail this mission.
It's alright, I believe in myself. Here we go, right, okay, this is where... Confidence. Okay, right, so... Right, let's see if... Okay. Oh, you need to... Annoyingly, right, okay, if we can take this guy out, this would be good.
You can get another shot in, can't you?
Come on. Oh.
See, he only does 2 damage because he's got so much armor.
Ah, so annoying.
I would resuscitate him.
Yeah. He doesn't get his AP, does he, for this next one? So he's back.
So, and then... Yeah, now the other guy, you can see if you can...
If we can kill this guy, that's a bit better. They're so hard. They're so tough.
It's upped it.
Okay, I'll try and speed this one through.
So unfortunately, he's walking through the mud, so he's wasting all his AP walking through the mud.
That's good. He's just standing still because he's not.
Miss.
Go on, one more miss.
Miss.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Phew, okay. Right. You can kill them 2 and then leg it.
Yeah. We're leaving him behind then.
No, don't, because you'll fail the mission.
Oh, right, okay.
So you need to get somebody who's got a medikit up. Okay, you've got a bit of breathing space now. So who's got a medikit?
Only this guy.
Yeah, but what you can do is give it... So if you select this guy here and select that little box. Yeah, I think so.
Amazing.
Transfer. Oh, he's got one. He's got one already. You just have to go. So you just go back. Select Brightmere. Select the equipment and swap it to the... No.
Sorry.
You just have to select the equipment slot.
Oh, right. It's on his secondary one. So yeah.
2,
Fine.
so
Okay.
Again, that's some bad UI design on my part, because that should have just automatically dropped in if you had an empty slot. And there you go.
Okay.
Right, now,
leg it.
Yeah, leg it.
Okay, so let's get you as far down here as we can. Ooh. It's probably going to be the best in it, so...
So Quasar Lettuce asked, do we play Fortnite? I don't know.
No. Not really the sort of channel that we played
Fortnite on. Game? No.
I've never played it.
No,
I've never actually played it.
I met up with so we know a few people at Epic, because obviously we're using Unreal for a couple of our projects. So we know the Epic people really well.
Yeah.
Met with a couple of them at Gamescom and had a chat with them about how well Fortnite's done. And that was a really nice chat. And,
cool.
They're a talented bunch of people to pull off, well, what is a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. I was reading anything about dancing today, so can you... Wow, that is
downstairs, the bar downstairs, they've got some kind of breakcore.
Can you hear that?
On.
I'm just looking on the thing. Yeah, you might be able to do a lot of reverberation.
That's not us. That's downstairs.
Or we're cool, but we're not like breakcore cool.
I like breakcore.
Do you?
Yeah, I love breakcore.
Are you going tonight?
I didn't know there was a breakcore.
Is it we do rush off before the...
Actually, breakcore's like a decade old now, so it's yeah.
So we are that cool. We are breakcore cool. So right, okay, come on. Let's get you out here as quickly as you can, into the cover. In fact, that's the best we want to do, don't we?
The people who did the audio for this game, called a band. They're a band called Gusset, who do breakcore stuff. So
really?
If you Google them, because if you Google Gusset, you'll get a variety of stuff.
Gusset band.
I think they actually sell the soundtrack on Bandcamp or something.
No way.
I think they sell a cassette
that's really cool.
of it as well. Yeah.
Right. Do we want to move him down this way rather than
through the mud? I think you might get more.
Okay. Never before has a stream been interrupted by. We've had swatting, but not breakcore. I wonder if that's a record there. So, okay. 44. This is going to move us over. What's this? Jeff Wayne, War of the Worlds. Was that game or?
Jeff Wayne War of the Worlds is. Did they do a game version of War of the World? Jeff Wayne's War of the World. I'm sure they've done several game versions of War of the World.
We're over the mud now. I'm happy with this. We're over the mud. Okay. Right, so we're not going to be able to hit him, but got a little bit of room.
Yeah, they're going to start causing you trouble. But again, if you can get people, yeah, you see, you get into a cascade.
Yeah.
So,
but he's got a health pack, so
yeah, I would focus on killing that guy
rather than getting him up.
Yeah, first, because you've got 3. So death in 3 means you've got 3 turns to get rid of him, and that's what I mean. Because strategically,
this is where taking the machine gun was a good idea.
Yeah, strategically, if you just focus on reviving him, you've still got that guy knocking hit points off.
Yeah.
Come on. Right, you might want to bring some other people to bear on him, because otherwise you're going to be in trouble.
There we go. Right, okay. Cool. Okay.
So now next turn. So get everybody across to the aid station. So I'd bring them down into the trench and then round, so that they avoid the mud. Okay. And then get them as far across as you can.
Of course, he can move a lot further.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a lot. So he's got very high dexterity, so a lot of action points.
That's probably a bit too outcome, but he's going to be a bit closer in that way, isn't he?
He'll get into that next turn. Well, I don't think there's anyone around causing you to cause it. There's a guy right at the top, isn't there?
But he's probably going to take pot shots here, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's at quite a far range. I'm not saying he might not. If he kills Hill, then he'll be in trouble. But
there's that guy there as well.
Yeah, he's going to take ages to get down there. So I think you'll be all right.
Okay.
He says famous last words.
Red Sulphur, thanks for the follow.
Yeah.
And Risk style PC games. Oh, right.
Players, Martians and Humans.
I did not know that.
I have been reading, there's quite a few people have done like sequels to War of the Worlds, and I've been reading one of those. I think I've read the 2 or 3 books. I forget who's by, but I quite enjoyed them. I know there's an official, like there's an official War of the Worlds sequel, which I haven't read, and this is like an unofficial one. Which kind of focuses predominantly on the re-invasion of the Martians a few years later, around the turn of the century.
Oh, that's cool.
So it has this kind of First World War vibe to it, which you can see I'm quite into, that historical period from our
games.
Yeah, from some stuff we've been talking about.
Just anything we do.
Well, it's a bit earlier, so they got like steam tanks and stuff like that. But
right.
I'm quite enjoying the story. I think it's very nicely done.
Yeah, that's quite cool. Did you ever play Martians versus Alien, or Humans versus Martians, which was like a miniatures?
I saw. Is it? You mean All Quiet on the
Quiet on the Martian Front? That's it.
Yes,
yeah.
Our designer Aaron said I think he's got some of the minis.
Yeah,
they look really nice. I haven't played it though.
It's I tried to Kickstarter it, but there was a bit of a delay with it, and it caused a little bit of a stir. But the game itself is really good.
You were involved in the Kickstarter.
Yeah. And they
so
basically.
I thought they smashed it in the end.
They did, and then they basically went, really sorry, we can't deliver anything for another year and a half. Yeah, it was really like, we've completely messed this up, sorry.
We have been talking about our Kickstarters, so yeah, there's a learning.
So yeah, there is a
learning. I did not know you've been involved in one. That's really useful to know, actually. It's a good experience.
Yeah.
Right, I would focus on get people around that aid station, and then
not getting rid of this guy.
Yeah, no, moving down there down to there. Just you're in cover and you're in the aid, and then
you're using it as a Nice. That's what we want. Hits and health.
Yeah.
It's a new motto for this channel now. Hits and health. That's how. Okay.
See, again, they'll all shoot at you, and you can kind of soak up.
He's going to be all right. He's going to be in enough cover there to.
Hopefully.
It says he's got cover, so I'm.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to be getting him. Yeah, you want to just get everybody there, and then do a kind of run down through the trenches.
Yeah.
For next time.
So I probably should have moved him, but
I don't think he's an essential character. I think you can still finish it without him.
Hopefully, these guys are going to just. So hopefully, he's going to focus on.
Yeah, he might die. But...
Yeah, this is. It's okay. These two seem to be focusing down here, which I'm happy with.
Yeah, provided they don't kill him, he'll just resuscitate at the aid station. He's wasting all his AP,
which
is good.
Good.
Right, so I'm going to healed. So
shall I move him first, just in case?
Yeah.
Because he's he's wasting time
quite
in there, so he's going to be out on the...
Yeah, getting behind that wall, he should be blocked from their line of sight. Now everybody else, you can basically, get them into... I think if you get everybody else in there, I think you'll end the mission. I don't know whether or not you'll be able to get... If you can't move them all the way there...
Whee!
So it's the only key
So it was just... Right,
the guy with the intelligence.
Right.
So there you go. So I mean, there's key people in it. So there we go. Right.
Right, cool.
Done the first two. We should save this in case we decide to pick it up and carry on and do more.
Woo. Me and another two.
Okay.
So, if you enjoyed watching the stream, give us a follow, give us a thumbs up, give us a sell us online.
Yes.
If there's any questions you have, if you'd like to see more of this, just let us know. We'd love to have you in. If you'd like to see more of Tom coming in and giving us the background of it, so
to be in on it.
maybe you can watch him do it next time without. Maybe we'll do the reverse. No, I'll tell you what I think you should do, and then we go.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we do that.
I don't think we should do that. That'd be a terrible idea. So.
No,
not at all. No, it's been really handy.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks.
So thank you very much, guys. As I said, we're going to be on stream now on Mondays from 5 till 7, and then this will stay. Auroch and Chill will stay on Thursdays 4 till 6.
Lots more giveaways and stuff like that to come. So please do follow and join in.
Catherine, well done. Good job. You got there in the end.
Yeah, we'll drop you an email and get that to you.
This will be yours, coming your way very soon. So thanks very much, guys, and we will see you all very soon. Have a good one.
Bye.